You should put a thumbs up. All right. I would like to also have a feel of all right, fantastic. We'd like to also have a feel of those in the room. So if you could use the chat to tell us, what your name and your, let's say, are you a product manager? Are you a developer? What do you do in tech? A brief introduction in the chat, and let's connect in the chat. We can do a bit of networking there also, right? So just drop your name and what you do, right? That would do for now. So that you can, or if you can add your LinkedIn profile just to connect to other people. What we are building here, what we hope to do is to build a robust community where we can all leverage on each other's knowledge and skill sets. We are not immigration experts, we're not immigration lawyers. We just offer advice from lived experiences. Many of us have done this digital visa route, if I can put it that way, this visa route technician, and we are sharing our experiences from that. And hopefully we can help you move from point A to your destination. All right, welcome. So if you are wondering what is eMigr8, we are a tech-enabled platform to location and settlement. That's what we do. Our key focus is technology. So you have to be in a technological space or within technology space, right? So we're a tech-enabled platform. So if you're looking for other visa routes to migrate to any other country, right? We focus on tech. So we won't talk about education. We won't talk about healthcare or health. We won't talk about arts. We're going to be talking about technology, right? So if you are here and you're focused on technology, you're in the right place. If you're here and you're not focused on technology, we hope to convert you at the end of this session. So you're welcome still, right? All right. So today we'll be talking about landing a tech job, excuse me, as a UK global talent. And we have Coach Ola Diamond in the building, and he's going to be sharing his thoughts around landing a job, landing a tech job as a global talent in the UK. Right. He's going to be sharing his experience, his journey, and also giving us updates giving us tips as to how to land a tech job. So if you're interested in landing a tech job, whether remotely or moving as a global talent, this is an amazing session you want to be part of. This is a session that you want to jot down, take notes, and we'll have this session again on our YouTube page, so you can always go back, to check it out, right? Like previous edition, we have loads of information on our YouTube page, right? So we've talked about move to Canada, move to the US, move to the UK as a global talent. We've had these sessions. They're all rich deposits of resource that on our social media pages, YouTube, our website. You can always find these videos, and they're free. So you can always go back to them, right? Landing a tech job as a UK global talent is today's edition, is today's conversation. And we hope to be able to demystify some of the mysteries or the not so clear misconceptions that people have about landing a job in the UK, especially as a global talent awardee, right? So Coach Oladamoud is in the building. I will be joining, and he will be leading his session soon, right? So hang in there. We also have a campaign ongoing, and this is running fast, starting in the UK as a tech talent. So if you are interested in this package, if you're interested in moving to the UK as a tech talent, you want to send a text message to the numbers you can see on the slide, or go to eMigr8 with an 8, emigratvisa.com. There's a short form there. We just want to know who you are, what you do, and where we can meet you in terms of how we can help move you forward in your journey, right? So this is a triple guaranteed pathway that will get you into the UK in 3 to 6 months minimum, and that's the timeline we give, right? So you want to take advantage of this opportunity. There are a lot of conversation, there's a lot of opportunity tied around these. And once you send that text message or you visit our website and give us the information that we require, we'll be able to advise you better. All right. We have previous editions, and our next editions we'll be looking at move to the UK, looking at innovator founder visa for the UK. So we pay attention again, like I usually say, to our social media handles, to our newsletters, to know who is coming up and who is coming up and when this session is going to be. Right. So our social media handles are at eMigr8 on all social media handles. Right. So you can always look for us and find us. eMigr8, we're a tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement, right? What does that mean to relocation and settlement? So our vision and our focus really is to make you globally attractive at eMigr8. We help you become globally attractive by, reviewing your tech profile or your tech business. So we can review your tech business, right, and also or review your tech profile. So for tech visas, you can either move as an individual or you can move as a startup founder, right? So we do tech profile review and we do tech-enabled business reviews also to be able to position you rightly to meet the criteria that most of the visa routes will require you to have, right? You have to be globally attractive, and this is where we are here. The visa, like we always say, is only a side effect of the objective. The objective is to make you globally attractive. Once you're globally attractive, countries and nations and economy will invite you in their own accord to come into their economy, to create opportunities, to start up a business, to pick up a job, because ultimately they are, better off with you in their economy, contributing to their economy, paying taxes, and creating opportunity or creating job for their citizens also. So you have to always have that at the back of your mind when you see these opportunities. They need you in their economy. They need you because they need you to come open up the economy, either by creating jobs or by picking employment in areas where there's shortage. All right. What can eMigr8 service cover? Right. We have sessions like this. It's an informative session and inspiration can oftentimes be gotten from this informative session. We also have general inquiring sessions. We have coaching and hand holding session. We have pre-qualification sessions. We have self-direct roadmap. So these are all things that we do as as a platform, eMigr8, as a community. We also help review global talent visa for the UK application. We also help review the endorsement review process for those that are appealing the decision that was, if the case decision is not favorable, right? So these are some of the things we do. This is not an exhaustive list, right? But these packages or these services from eMigr8 is split into two broad sections. So we have the free sessions and we have the premium session. Like you already know, the free sessions are typically free, right? So information and inspiration sessions like these are free for you to join. Invite your friends, connect, ask questions, and you get response. And by the way, as we progress, if you have any question, just drop it on the chat. We'll come to the question and answer segment, and we'll answer most of your question as time will allow us. So we have general open day like this. We have videos online on our platforms on YouTube that you can binge on. We have eMigr8 open coaching sessions, right? We also have visa specific hours that we give free advice and free consultations, right? Short inquiry sessions also are available for free. These are available. One thing you should know is that 80% of what we do are free. But however, there are people with unique circumstances and unique pathways that have unique roadmaps, that have unique circumstances that we need to pay more detailed attention to, or we need to be able to handhold you and coach you through the process. Now that is the premium circle that we're talking about. So we have the eMigr8 circles. It's a premium community, right? We also have personalized coaching session, which usually is a 30-minute to 1 hour sessions, depending on the package you're on. And we are able to consult and advise you properly in those sessions. Now, again, there are customized services, there are, premium services that we offer for that segmentation, especially if you are a newbie or if you are trying to transition from one career path into tech. Now, the premium might suit you better because you want dedicated attention. But generally speaking, most of all what we are going to be sharing, or most of all what we do, is free in our community. So take advantage of that. And we have bincom.net / emigrate or bincom.co.uk / emigrate pricing. Any of these links would take you to our communities, and we're able to advise you depending on where you are on your journey and what you are looking to achieve. Right. Remember, the goal for us is to make you globally attractive. And hopefully that's the goal you're looking out for too. Now we have different packages, in the emigrate community. We have Move to the UK as a global talent. Again, that is the UK global talent, otherwise called Technician Visa. We have Move to the UK as an innovator founder. That is the UK, again, innovator founder visa. What used to be called the startup visa, right? We have Move to the US as a global talent. Now, these are the different, this is not again an exhaustive list, but this is the different emigrate packages that we have, right? Again, like I said, most of what we do is free, right? But there are sessions like the premium session that is paid, and we invite you to come to this community to, the general inquiry session that we can tell you more about these packages and hopefully get you to get on any of the one that suits your desired goal, right? Our community, eMigr8 community, we have communities on WhatsApp, we have Telegram, we have Facebook. I'm going to drop the link on the chat, and you can click on the link to just join the community directly, right? And what we say in the community, it's a community of people that have the objective to become globally attractive. So it's a very serious community. So when you join, please engage, like, share, comment, interact, ask intelligent question. I like to say be brief and brilliant there because everybody's busy and everybody's trying to get value in the community, right? So I invite you to join, but I also invite you to participate. I invite you to ask questions and invite you to share your own knowledge also to help. And you never can tell who you're helping when you share your own knowledge in the group. Now, to make you globally attractive, eMigr8 has partnership, right, that we leverage on, right, to make sure everybody on the platform is heading in that direction where they are globally attractive. Now, so these services come from a firm or organization called Bincom Dev Center, which incidentally is a company that incubated eMigr8 also, right? So Bincom Dev Center have services like the Bincom Global Tech Program. Now, this is perfect for beginners and also good for intermediate level programmers, right? So if you are a beginner in the room, again, our packages are beginner friendly because we have packages like these that will help you build your skill sets, help you build your competence level, to the place where you become an expert. Now, Bincom Global Tech Program takes care of everything technology, any back end, front end, DevOps, cloud, anything technology you want to learn. Bincom Global Tech program takes care of it. And the promise of value here is that you're going to learn skills, you're going to gain experience, you're going to gain exposure. Now, those are the three pillars you will need on your pathway to becoming globally attractive. So, learning skills, gaining the experience because you're working in a real life project, and gaining exposure again because you're working in real life project, right? So, like I said, it's perfect for beginners. If you're interested or you know someone that this will benefit, please go to bincom.net / global tech. Now that will lead you to the cohorts, and you'll find out when the next cohort is starting, or if there's currently space in the current cohort that you can join. Right? It's fantastic for beginners. It is also fantastic for intermediate level programmers. Right? Become a tech talent is another service Bincom renders, right? And this again is a paid service. This usually is in line with the premium service that we offer. It's a paid service for intermediate level junior developers to senior developers who are looking to get into the UK economy, right? So we have these become a tech talent that takes care of one tech training, right? Takes care of career coaching, especially if you're looking at getting a job within the UK ecosystem. You need to be able to understand the terminology, the tools that the UK economy uses, right? Some of the tools they use, right? And also the work system, how it works, right? Then also be able to speak to, recruitment managers and recruitment officers of different brands to understand what they're looking out for and to position yourself rightly to get in a UK remote job, right? So that is the tech apprenticeship. So that's the become a tech talent, beg your pardon. And it also has a promise of value where you have opportunity to do tech apprenticeship with a UK company, right? And we can also give references. It's a 3 month package and it's discounted at £1,000. Now, to join this package, Bincom.net/global tech is where you want to go to, right? This gives you a pathway. This gives you a pathway to landing a tech visa at immediate as an intermediate or a junior developer, like to say, or as an expert or an advanced level programmer or developers, right? So this is a fantastic opportunity to take advantage of if you're looking at getting a job or in the UK, as the case may be, right? We also have the Bincom mentoring platform. Now, most of the visa routes that we see and that we have advised on, they usually pay attention to those that are mentored or are mentoring mentees at the moment. So some of the optional requirement that you find. Have you been a mentor? Have you mentored? Have you given back to the communities that you are coming out from, for example? So we have the Bincom mentoring platform that you can leverage on, right? So if you are, skilled or you have wealth of experience in your field and you have wealth of experience, this is an opportunity for you to begin to mentor people in your field, technological enthusiasts that are in your field, whether it's data science, whether it's, UI, UX designers, product managers, Java script writers, any field that you have expertise in, we have mentees on the platform who want to connect with you. Now, and also if you are a mentee and you're looking for a mentor, you're looking for someone that can, be able to explain your path to you and expose you to possibility in your path, right? In your chosen field or career. This is a fantastic platform you want to be involved in. So it's free for everyone to come in, right? So it's bincom.net/mentor registration. That is a platform you want to go to. I will do it to share the link on the group also. It is very important because this is a low hanging fruit. Like I said, for most visas, you will find an optional criteria that wants to hear about your mentorship program or your mentorship engagement. Now, so if you're looking to move and you're looking to be globally attractive, this is a good place to start. Having this experience would help you move quickly, right? Now we also have the Last by Bincom. This is a fantastic platform for if you're in tech and you work in services and you work in consulting. Most of the time, the visa route, especially for technician, they want to know if you have built a product-led digital technology before, right? Have you built a digital product, right? Have you launched a digital product? How did you contribute to a digital product? They're not quite keen on services. They're not quite keen on the services experiences, and they're not quite keen on consultancy experiences. So Last by Bincom gives you an opportunity to build a product, to build a startup, right? To get into the weaves, the nitty-gritty of ideation and scaling products, right? From ideation to scaling, I should say. Right. So it's a 3 to 6 months program that allows you build a startup. The cohorts come together, pick a product or a solution that they want to bet, and they build it and launch it in the market. A new cohort started, I think, a week ago, so you can still join that cohort. So if you are in the service arm of technology, or you're a consultant in technology field and you want to apply for any digital visa, any tech visa, you want to build a product because that contributes significantly to your application, right? You want to build a product, and this platform allows you to build a product. Now, you can also build a product and add it to your portfolio if you're looking for a job remotely across the world or in any part of the world. And this also add to your experience. This also add to your portfolio, your GitHub account. These also add to it. So it's a fantastic and a win-win situation, win-win opportunity for you guys, right? So it's fantastic. It's a 3 to 6 months program. The website to go again is bincom.net/labs. It is a fantastic opportunity to build a startup, right? So I would recommend it for everyone in the room. And if you have built product before and you're looking to contribute or looking to expand your portfolio, this also appeals to you. This also is a fantastic platform you want to go to. All right. I've talked about the career coaching service that we have, which helps you to land a job in the UK faster. Today, we're talking about landing a job in the UK also. So our host and our coach today is going to share more light on this. But just know that Bencom um, has a tech career coaching service. It's a paid service, I should say. Bencom.net/tech career coaching. This helps you understand the landscape, the job market, help you understand the relevant experience that is needed in your target country, helps you connect to tech recruiters, help you to connect to jobs with visa sponsorship, right? But specifically, it's targeted at tech, right? Tech opportunities. All right. Now we have various visas and opportunities that we deal with, that we affiliate ourselves to, that we advise on. And some of them, I will use this next slide. Some of them are on this slide. So you want to take a screenshot of this slide just so that you can always look at it and consult in your spare time and ask questions with regard to them. Time will not allow us to take each and every one of them on this segment or on this open day. But do know that we have the startup visa for the UK, for the US, and for Germany, for Australia. We have the talent visas like the global talent for the UK, the O1 visa for the US, the global talent stream for Canada, the French tech visa. So we have this visa package in eMigr8, and we can expand on these in a one-on-one session, and also in the community if you have questions regarding any of these visa routes. Today, we're going to be talking about landing a job as a global talent visa in the UK, right? Holder in the UK. Now, like I said, time will not permit us to go into. We also have digital nomad visas for places like Portugal, France, Spain. We can unpack that if that is where you want to go to, right? We can unpack that for you in our one-on-one session, right? So do take a screenshot. And if you have any question with regard any of this visa route, you can put it in the chat. And you can also join our community and ask in the community, and we can have a one-on-one session where we unpack it to you. Do know that there are requirements for all these visas, and these requirements are on the internet, so you can actually Google them, right? And you can actually Google them and find this information yourself. But we have coaches who have applied for this visa route, who have gotten it. We have success stories within our ecosystem that can help expand on the best way to put your best foot forward. Now, remember, our goal at eMigr8 is to make you globally attractive. So we'll do where to put you around information and resource that will make you globally attractive. All right. So, yeah. So our goal is to make you globally attractive. Something again I want to mention is that the visa opportunities that we talk about and that we consult about in eMigr8 usually give you pathway to settlement. They usually allow you to move with your family or your dependent. They usually are beginner friendly, right? And our focus is again tech-enabled opportunities, and we discuss in depth. We've discussed in depth of various opportunities, various countries in our previous editions, and we have those online. This list again is not exhaustive, but just to give you an idea of the opportunities that you have if you move as a tech talent, you are guaranteed a pathway to settlement. You are guaranteed that you are allowed to move with your family in most of the cases, and it's beginner friendly. So what that means that you can start today, and in the next 12 to 14 months, you can move as a global talent. You can move, as a tech talent, right? We have the 2023 eMigr8 Tech enabled visa landscape. This just talk about the various visa landscape for 2023, what changed, what was introduced, what are the projection. We have it on our site on Bencom.net /tech /emigrate tech visa landscape. I will share the link. So for those that are interested, you can go read up on it to give you an idea of what the future holds, to give you an idea of what the conversations that are beginning to emerge around some of the visa opportunities that we see today. All right. Now, if you are in doubt or if you are still questioning, do I qualify? Can I land a job? Can I get this visa? What should I be doing? Right. We also have an opportunity for you to come in as a newbie and grow to become globally attractive by having a program, right, that allows you as a newbie or as an intermediate in tech to have a personalized roadmap. Now, this is what we do here is to customize the journey to suit your uniqueness. All right. So it speaks to your uniqueness, you speak to what you want to do, speaks to your experience, and we can grow from there. So in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months, depending on how fast you move, we can get you across the line. We can get you to becoming globally attractive and put you in a better position to apply for these talent visas or for this tech visa. But today, we're talking about landing a tech job as a UK global talent. Now, so if you are planning to move to the UK, you want to know when I go to the UK, can I land a job? What are the opportunities that exist in the UK? Or I'm already in the UK as a global talent. How do I navigate? How do I get a job? This session is for you. And we have Coach Ola Diamond. Coach Ola Diamond, are you there? Hello, Coach. So we have Coach Ola Diamond in the building today, and he's
Yes,
going to
I'm
be
here.
taking us. All right, fantastic. He's going to be taking over. You're going to be taking over from here. He's going to be telling us about his experience and giving us his thought around landing a job in the UK as a UK global talent. Now, when he's speaking, please use the chat to drop questions, and once he's done, we'll have another speaker, Buddy, who is going to be telling us about a program that Vincom and eMigr8 actually is piloting at the moment, and we will now go into question and answers. So if you have questions, use the chat. We'll have time for question and answer, and we'll come back, and hopefully at the end of this session, we would have everyone. Fantastic. Coach Olada Ahmad is with us. We will have answered everybody's question at the end of the session. All right. Fantastic. All
Oh,
right. Coach, over to you. Welcome. Thanks for sharing your time with us today. We're glad to have
okay.
you here.
Okay, so it's nice being here. Thank you very much for what you guys are doing. It's amazing. It's amazing, and I don't think there's a better time to have this kind of conversation, than now. So what I would do is that I just add like a bit of change of mind on the approach that I want to, use to this. So just give me like 20 minutes of your time and I'll bring something up and I hope it will really make sense to you. So I'll share my screen with you, but please pay attention to what I'm going to say, right? And because of the profile of people in the room, from what I've read, I realized that a lot of people actually, are from different kind of background. So I'll be sharing some things with you. Please pay attention. And the reason why I wanted to pay attention is because of this. Yeah. Just to have a view of myself, married, father of two, advocate of Dagba with pride. That's why this kind of a conversation is very interesting. It's something that we just have to do. 2 master's degree. And you will see where I'm going with this particular introduction. Currently living, work in the UK, founded a company in the UK. I'm a senior HR professional, was an HR VP in a tech company in Nigeria. I'm a pro lean and agile coach. When I say pro, means I've done this for over a decade and a half, thereabout. I'm currently an enterprise agile coach working with the government in the UK. I work for Nottinghamshire Council. And I used to be a group head in HR and comms in a tech startup in Nigeria, Venture Garden Group. And one of big flaws was being able to transition that company into a fully remote company, right? And coaching is my game. So I'm a John Maxwell certified coach. I'm an NLP practitioner. So for you to understand, this is what I do. Like, this is what I do. Like, it's like my daily food, right? And I had experience working with Procter & Gamble for over 10 years. So worked in Nigeria, worked in Europe, and also covered different people across the Middle East and the likes, right? And one of my proud moments is being able to lead a project worth over $50 million from the people HR point of view. So I'm one of those few HR in their lifetime that set up a greenfield site, worth over this amount of money. So we are very few in numbers. So, and that is extremely very unique. And you could see two pictures there. So if you want to describe me in summary, you describe me as a cat and a tiger. That is the way you describe me. And you will see how I will link that to my story along the line. Now, we're talking about landing a job here, right? Talking about landing a job here. I want you to keep something in mind, and this is what anybody listening to me, you are extremely very experienced, and you are coming to the UK, or you are trying to migrate maybe to Canada, to US, or anywhere you're trying to go to. Let me just land an information on your table, and that information is this. What you think you know is theory. No matter what your experience has been, what you think you know currently is theory. You don't even have an idea of how the world is currently. In fact, if you have been coming to the UK before now, you have been traveling to US, for example, to Canada, anywhere before now, for example, I've been well-traveled. When I say well-traveled, I mean I have been well-traveled, yeah? Yeah, very well-traveled. I think I'm very proud of that. Even before I came to the UK, for you to have an idea to that. So by the time I was moving to UK, I already have like a 10 years UK visa, moved across the world. I've worked outside the country, worked in Switzerland, for example. However, living in the UK or living in the US as a professional, completely different. So if you're listening to me, do not make a mistake of assuming that because you have big profile, because you have done very well for yourself, it's going to be an easy, busy journey for you. Just copy and paste yourself into the new country. It doesn't work that way, regardless of your kind of experience. I want you to keep that in mind. It's different. Why is it different? It's different because the language is different, the culture is different, the context is different, the perception of the people about leadership is different. For example, we came from a we world. This is currently an I world. We came from a world that is extremely very feminine. You are coming to a world that is very masculine, right? Completely different. And I want you to understand, we came from a world that is extremely very vertical. You are coming to a world that is horizontal, which means you cannot copy and paste your experience from where you are coming from and put it here. It just cannot work. Keep that in mind. It's a complex world. And if something is more real, it is this vocal. It is very real. But all the guys will tell you today and say, it's not the same. So even if eMigr8 support you to transition, remember, you getting your visa is not enough. That's why you need to stay in this kind of community to be able to learn how to integrate very well. It is not by your experience, it's not by your seniority. I can tell you that. I've transitioned vice president of multinational, Procter & Gamble. I've transitioned directors of companies, and in their transition, you have to do a lot of cultural change with them, completely different. So whatever you have known, please, in a session like this, please pay attention. Take yourself as a learner and begin to ask questions. Don't even look like who is coming to talk to me just have 4 years experience. I have 10 years experience in Nigeria. You don't have a clue. It's not by your number of years of experience, completely different. Why do I say it's volatile? Things are happening extremely very fast. The rate of change of opportunities is very fast. Let me give you a simple example to that. 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, there was what we call outside IR in the UK. 4 years ago, if you go online and you type on LinkedIn and you say you are looking for business analyst, for example, 4 years ago, you might see close to 18,000 roles, 18,000. If I have some recording of videos where I was doing career session for people 4 years ago, and we're still watching the video not quite long, and I saw more than 18,000 business analyst role on LinkedIn as at 4 years ago. Let me tell you now in the UK, go to LinkedIn. If you are watching this on your phone and just go to your LinkedIn and type business analyst, I doubt if you will find 2,000. If somebody can do it now, you can just drop the number that you find there. It tells you that the rate of change of the world is fast. If you are learning DevOps today, don't carry your DevOps from Nigeria and bring your DevOps to the UK, even though it's the same kind of DevOps. Completely different. So I want you to understand that the rate of change is fast. What you think you know last year, June, trust me, by now, completely different. So keep that in mind. Number two is that there are a lot of uncertainties in the environment, including the United Kingdom. Elections are coming in the UK, for example. A lot of conversations are happening. Immigration law in the UK 1 year ago has changed in the last 6 months. Last 6 months to 9 months, a lot of things have changed. In the next 1.5 years, a lot of things are going to change because the immigration discussion is a pivotal one in terms of like for the next election. The same thing in the United States of America, which means you can't say, I know this or I used to know this, right? If you say you should know it before, be rest assured that currently you don't even have an idea at all. Keep that in mind. This, for me, the reason why I would say stay in this kind of community and please ask questions. If you're in this kind of community, you don't ask questions, forget about it. It's as good that you're not even here at all. And there are a lot of stuff here. For example, Barry today is somebody who I've respected so much. We've known each other for over a decade and a half, like close to 2 decades now. Resourceful. Come to this kind of community and please ask questions. You can't be in a place and not feed on content there. The only way to get the right content is to engage. The next one is that it's complex. Many people will ask a question, how do I get this thing? When you give them an answer, they just feel like the answer should just be straightforward. No, it's not straightforward. There's no straightforward answer. And the best way to make a meaning of it is for you to take an action. Because it's complex, the best way for you to understand it is for you to take an action. How do you know Global Talent Visa? It's by doing it. It's not by just reading it. It's by doing it. It's not just straightforward. It's by asking questions and engaging people. That's how you know about it, right? And the last one is the world is now ambiguous. UK is currently very ambiguous. I'm an enterprise agile coach. Scrum Masters, as of 2 years ago, you see tons of Scrum Masters role. Now, Scrum Master role is being embedded with BA, embedded with Product Manager. Even Product Manager as a title currently is changing very fast across many organizations. People now many companies are now confused. HR now have confusion in defining JD for product managers and JD for business analysts. I'm saying it because I know it. When I tell you about the job market, just know that I know it. I know it like the back of my hand. But I call myself a Tesla in talent game. I'm a Tesla in the game. I know it like the back of my hand. Completely different. Go online today, go and look for, just search it at random. Go and look for business analyst role, for example, in NHS. You will realize that when you go to the public sector in the UK, there's now a completely gray area between a BA and a project manager. A lot of things. Why? Now, there are a lot of confusion because many companies want to cut costs. They don't want to hire this way, hire this way. That is why in this community, learning, asking questions becomes important. It's never straightforward. When somebody tells you that it's just exactly this way, just know that there is just no one pathway to it. It's a VUCA world. Now, because it's a VUCA world, a lot of things are changing fast. You can't even predict what happens next. Things are extremely very complex. That is the external environment. What do you do? Now, what do you do? Now, what you do is, I call this my 5. This my 5, you won't find it on Google. This my 5 is based on close to 2 decades of my experience in the talent space. I want to tell you about my 5. If you keep this my 5 in mind, you will realize that your life will be sorted as a tech talent. In fact, let me give you more. As a professional and certified coach, this 5 will not only help you to get a job, it also help you to settle very well. Let me even go further. This my 5 will not only help you to settle very well, this my 5 will also help you to address every other part of your life. If you're an entrepreneur here, or you're a techpreneur here, or you're looking for any opportunities, this my 5 is going to help. Like I told you, is my 5. And if you look at it in any area of your life, as I talk about them, you will realize that there's a linkage between that to where you are currently. You are where you are currently, not by happenstance, is by decisions you have made to this my 5. What are these my 5? I call it any name. If you like, call them my 5 sacrifices. If you like, call them my 5 virtues. If you like, call them my 5 gifts. If you like, call them Ola Diamond's 5 prices that you have to pay. Any name you call it, it doesn't matter to me as long as you understand what it means. Like I tell people all the time, when I'm consulting for them, I say, whenever you put your problem, it doesn't matter. Whether your problem is on Excel book, your problem is on Jira, your problem is on DevOps board, your problem is on a physical board, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're solving the problem, right? Life does not respond to your problem when you put it, whether it's on Excel or on Jira board. So whether you call it sacrifice, you call it virtues, you call it gift, you call it price, it does not matter to me. What matters to me is that you understand the 5. And as I'm speaking, I'm talking about them. I want you to begin to assess yourself now. Where? Assess yourself now on how you have been able to navigate yourself and your readiness on those 5 areas. And people that lack in each of these areas, when they transition into a place like US, like UK, like Canada, they suffer from that. I was in the US like last a month and a half for like 5 weeks. And in my 5 weeks in the US, I could say practically almost like 3 people got a job because I passed through US for like 5 weeks. And I'll tell you the reason, because of these 5. What is number 1 of these 5? Time. You want to get a job as a global talent. You want to get a job as a tech talent out there. There is a place of time. And this time means patience and process. When I say time, I mean sometimes you apply for a job and you have to understand the place of unfortunately. You need time. It's not a rocket science. I apply for a job in 1 month, I get a job. Sometimes it might take you 3 months. Keep that in mind. The diamond told you that you need to have a virtue called time. Understand what time means. Patience and process. The time means something in 2 ways. It means the seed you plant, time, and your harvest, time. Understand, as a tech talent, you need time. If you have learned, for example, DevOps, you need time to spend more to polish your skills. If you have learned these skills, you also need more time to be able to get a job. You give your time to many things like your CV writing, your LinkedIn, like interview prep and the likes. You need time. Time is the seed that you sow. Time also positions you very well to be able to receive what lies in wait for you. The gift of time, or the virtue of time, or the sacrifice of time. When people come to me, for example, I'm sure people will be asking today, how long will it take me to apply for Global Talent Visa and get it? I'll say, it's not the how long, it is you starting. The way to finish is to start. The way up is down. The way up is not up. The way up is down. If you are going up, you start from down. You don't go up by starting from up. And people ask that question a lot, and I see them, they never do anything because people are so carried away. Let me just shock you. You don't even have control of the time. The only thing you can do, the power you have been given, is to plant something in time, because you don't even have control of the time. What you have control of is the quality of what you spend on the time. And the quality of what you spend on time is dependent on your dominant thought. It's dependent on what you're actually looking for. It's dependent on the gain that you see ahead of you. And I'm telling you this because you will not find this. I'm not yet come and tell you cosmetic or motivational kind of a speaking. If you don't give time, forget about it. The last thing I will tell you on time here is that you can't impregnate 9 women to give birth in 1 month because you want to compress time. It will never happen. This is the last thing I will tell you here. You can't do it. It won't happen. You want to learn BA, sit down and learn the BA. Let your eyes be single. Spend time. To be a guru on BA is not 3-month job. You can start your journey in 3 months. You can't end your journey in 3 months. You want to be a transformational lead like me, that I've invested 20 years of my life learning about people, transformation, organization. I've done a lot of international training, coaching, and you want to pick up like me in 3 months. You can't do it. Impossible is something. It's not nothing. You can't. It's impossible. You can't do it. Let nobody come and tell you motivational junk. You won't do it. This is where I see talent failing. Let me give you my story. I came to the UK. I was an HR VP in a big tech company in Nigeria, earning my good money. When I say good money, I say it confidently. I'm sure that in the tech space in Nigeria, I should be in the 1% earning salary in the tech market. I'm too sure of that. Guess what, guys? I have to sit down. I have to take myself through a journey. Today, I'm an enterprise agile coach working with Nottinghamshire Council. You have to learn humility. It comes in time. That is the gift of time. The second thing is effort. Many people have the gift of time, but they don't have the gift of putting in the effort. You have to grind it. You have to be accountable. And grinding it requires a lot of grit, a lot of perseverance. You have to grind it. Sometimes stay in the night. Sometimes spend your time. When eMigr8 sit down with you, they give you material. Spend your time to read it. Effort. Put in the effort. Sometimes, I want to say this one. Bade and the guys might not come and say this one. Let me just tell you. I manage a big community today to share insight with people. Sometimes you do videos. You share link. You share materials. You share everything. And somebody will still be asking you a question on a video you have done and you have shared and you have tagged them on it. Guys, like, gifts of effort. Spend your time. If somebody has shared a material with you, spend more time to go and read, to go and study, to go and digest. That is a gift of effort. You grind it here. If you are coming, for example, maybe in Nigeria, you are a product manager. It's possible you have to put in an effort to learn Prince 2 and be able to switch easily between a product manager and a project manager. That is a gift of effort. Sometimes you have to stay in a class to learn from somebody who you even think you are smarter than. When I was doing my Scrum Master class, the guy teaching me, sincerely, apologies, I felt like, why am I here? But I'm here because I needed to be there. But I almost became like a trainer in the class, but I had to be there because I needed it. Gift of effort, grind it, be accountable, be responsible. That is the second virtue. Gift of effort. Number 3, and please ask yourself, as you are going through this journey, which of this one are you giving in? Which one are you failing at? In fact, I won't give you the other part because it's not a relationship seminar. In fact, this 5 I'm telling you also, you can even apply it to your relationship and check yourself. Are you giving time? Are you giving the effort? You can look at it. That's why I told you that it's a universal thing that I've seen over time, that I decoded from my experience with people who succeed and people that fail. Number 3 is money. What tells you that things are free? Let me tell you, I'm here now. Arsenal is playing. Arsenal is a club I love so much. I'm not a football fan, but I'm an Arsenal fan. Let me tell you how big Arsenal is for me. When I married, we came for honeymoon in the UK to come to Emirates for you to know how much Arsenal is to me. When my wife got pregnant, I brought my son in pregnancy to Emirates Stadium to take his picture. When I gave back to him, I brought him to Emirates Stadium for you to know how much I love Arsenal. I'm not an Arsenal fan. Arsenal is like a blood, like my blood. We lose, we win. I'm an Arsenal fan. Arsenal is playing right now. I'm here. You think this is free? It's not free. It cost eMigr8 a lot. It cost me a lot to be here. If you think everything will be free for you, you have lost it. No matter what your experience will be, you have to spend money. Sometimes somebody will come to me and say, I want to speak. I want to learn about this visa. I'll say, come and book an appointment. They'll say, just to book for 1 hour is $100. My friend, you have a choice. I'll give you links on YouTube. You can go and watch the links. Sincerely, go and watch the links. I will tell you, go and watch the links. But money, let me give my experience. Today, somebody was speaking to me, and the person needed a support. And I said, have a community of over 900 people on WhatsApp, one of the biggest community on something. And the person said, I said, come and book a session. Send me an email, book a session, pay for the session. And the person was like, just for 75 minutes. I said, I'm sorry, but there are free resources. You can go to my YouTube channel. The free resources are there. You have a choice. You want to give in your time or you want to spend the money? The choice is yours. Before I go to the last 2, let me just tell you a principle, because I'm extremely very mathematical and physics. I love physics so much. Let me just tell you something. It's equilibrium. It's equilibrium. Or it's like some of angle in a triangle. Let me tell you, if you don't want to spend money, you are going to spend longer time. Let me say it again. If you don't want to spend money, you will spend more time and more effort. If you spend more money, you might spend less time and lesser effort. It's balancing. You cannot say you want to cut your time. You cannot say you want to cut your efforts and you don't want to spend money. Like, who does that? Let me give you an example. I know that people like relationship a lot. I love a woman loves me. She does not want to spend, I don't want to spend time with my wife. And okay, I don't want to spend time with my wife. I don't want to put effort to make sure I impress my wife. What do you think I will do? I have to spend more money. If I don't want to spend more money, then I have to invest time and effort. Time, something as cheap as let's go to the cinema. Let's go to the cinema. It's expensive. Why? I'm putting in effort. I'm putting it my time. I'm giving quality time. It's one of the love languages today. So don't ever think you want to get there without spending money. Today, I have over 17 certifications. And if you ask me, do I believe certification? I don't, but do I have it? I have. Why do I have it? Because if you don't know anything, just know that I'm smart. If you don't know anything, just know this one. I'm smart. Like I know book, I know. Sometimes to prove I know book, I just like to write exams. Sometimes I've written crazy exams just because I want to show that I have brain, because I know that I have the brain. But let me tell you, you will pay. If you can't pay for visa consulting, how will you pay for visa fee? Maybe somebody might smile on that. If you can't pay my visa consulting, you can't pay for the visa fee. You can't. How do you want to pay for visa fee? You can't pay for the visa fee. How will you buy tickets? You can't buy tickets. You can't even buy tickets in the first place. Like, you too will happen. You will spend money. The same way also with your career, you will spend money. You will buy books. You can't tell me today you're a product manager, you don't have product manager best-in-class books. You don't buy books written by best-in-class product managers. You can't say you are a project manager or a product manager, you don't buy books. You're an agile coach, you don't have books. You're only looking for free book, free material, free content, free. I've never seen people who are experts who thrive on free. You can't subscribe to YouTube Premium. You can't subscribe to Google Podcast. You can't subscribe to anything. You can't subscribe to anything. Everything has to be free. Even Google Drive, everything has to be free. You have to create 10 accounts to keep 15 gig here, 15 gig here, 15 gig here. You can't have cheap mentality and expect yourself to be expensive. Who will pay you? Even the psychology of you demanding for big salary won't be there because you are not paying for things. So when you want to build people, it becomes hard for you to do. The gift of money, the virtue of money, you will pay money. Please, it does not mean money answers everything. But I'm saying that if you want to always do it cheap, there's a price to pay. That shortcut is long in the long run. Don't look for shortcuts. Every time you want to go and look for, like somebody have a paid course, you want to buy the course and share the password, no worries. There'll be a time you'll be an entrepreneur, you will do a course, people will share it. You won't be able to even price it, but when you go for a training and you pay 500 pounds for a training, when you create a body of knowledge, you want to train people and you charge them 600 pounds, you will know that people will pay. Why? You've paid before. But if you have never paid before, you can't build people. You can't build them. That is the gift of money. Please, it's a virtue. The mindset is called abundance mindset. The gift of money. Keep that in mind. Right? Now, let me go further. I hope I'm really making sense. Maybe someone can just give me feedback. Please, if you hear me very well and it's making sense to you, you can just type in the chat box. Just type I hear in the chat box. That's what I want to see. Just type for me. Just type I hear in the chat box so that I will know that I'm making sense to you. Just type I hear in the chat box. I will know that we are together. Right? So let's move further. Thank you very much. Thank you, Peace. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Adams. Please listen attentively to me. Like, I'm not here to inspire. I'm not here to give you motivational junks. I'm here to tell you the truth. Injection is not sweet, but it's good for your body. Vaccine is not sweet to take, but it's good for your body. This is what I'm giving you, and I'm laying it bare to you, right? And I commit to do that till I get to the end. The gift of money. What is the fourth one? What is the fourth one? The fourth one here is the gift of volunteering. The gift of offering yourself. Don't be too big not to be available to do things for people. Oh, in Nigeria, I was a CTO. I'm a big boy CTO. Now you can't volunteer with eMigr8. You are too big to volunteer. I won't digress, but let me tell you a story from from my biggest book in the world. Let me just paint that story for you. If you don't have, somebody can help me write this quote down. It's my quote, not anybody's quote. Like what I'm telling you is ingenious to me, like I said. It's my commission, it's my vision, it's my anointing, it's my ministry, it's my profession. What I'm doing now is what I'm called to do professionally, by professional association, by God, by everything. This is my work. So if you are listening to me right now, just know that I'm doing surgical operation on you. Listen attentively. Let me just give you a quote. If you don't have a bear and lion story, then you don't deserve the Goliath testimony. People don't know that volunteering is there. Interning is there. Intern is not for a newbie. Like, it's not for a newbie. Volunteering, apprenticeship, like, you learn, bring yourself down. Do things when nobody is saying thank you. That guy in that book, he was looking after a bear and lion. He was looking after the sheep. Bear and lion came. When nobody will say thank you, he was offering himself. Let me tell you, the same thing happens in life. When you offer yourself, what happens is that it's an opportunity for you to practice, to build, to learn in a very cheap way. What do we do in MBA school? Case study. When you volunteer, what are you doing? Case study. Why do you have to pay for MBA school when there are many MBA schools around you? If you think you can market, volunteer to market for eMigr8. When you market for eMigr8, then you have a testimony to write on. If you don't have a bear and lion testimony, forget Goliath. I don't care. And please keep that quote in mind. If you don't have the bear and lion story, if you don't have your bear and lion story, forget Goliath testimony. Forget it. It is the story of the bear and lion is the confidence to face the Goliath. If you can't market eMigr8, if you say you're a designer, you can't volunteer and work for eMigr8 and say, buddy, let me work for you now. I can do this. And you transform designing and transform it all over. Like, what is that's potential. Who pays for potential? Nobody pays for potential. Potential. Who cares about potential? Yeah? And keep that in mind. Your bear and lion story is what gives you a right to have the Goliath testimony. Forget Goliath if you don't have bear and lion story. What are you killing in your closet? Who are you building? You say you're a leader. Who are you training? I'm a DevOps guy. I'm a CTO. How many people have come from you? How many people have you given yourself to? Volunteer. Mentoring is volunteering. Volunteer. Volunteering gives you many things. If you are volunteering, it means you are giving a gift of time. You are giving a gift of effort. Most likely, you are saving somebody's money. It means you are giving the first 3 gifts in volunteering. Speaking event, many of us have done it over the years. I will talk about my Global Talent Visa story. When I was putting my story together, it was too much. When I was teaching, coaching, going to school, attending Tech Summit, this school will invite me. I would drive to Ife. I was going to Ife 2 times a month to go and speak, speaking engagement. JCI today, road trip tomorrow, this one tomorrow. We're doing it just because we wanted to do it. Let me talk volunteering here. Myself and Buddy. What taught me professionally to learn my speaking journey professionally? I learned it from Fela Drotoye. Till I die. The beginning of my strength in the speaking space is Fela Drotoye. I used to be a stammerer. Like, I learned it from Fela, how to teach, how to make slides, how to design, how to speak. Let me even tell you more. How to dress. Let me tell you more. How to love my wife. I learned it from Fela. We will go to his house in VGC. I will leave Ife, OAU. I will take a bus. So Fela never gave me money, but Fela gave me life. Till today, if you call me Fela speaking, not boy, I don't know whether there's something lower than a boy. I will say, yes, I'm a Fela Drotoye's boy. I don't see him every day now, but I will talk about him till I die. It showed me how to be impeccable. Fela showed me how you can train 10 people like you are training 10,000. For example, carry me to come and train 1,000. I will train with this passion. Let me tell you something about volunteering that will shock you. I lost my mom February 12, 2022. I lost my mom at 5:30 a.m. 5:30 a.m. I lost my mom in 2022. Let me shock you. At 9 a.m., because of the company I was working for, I founded Garden Academy. You can go online, check gardenacademy.io. I founded Garden Academy for my company. Imagine, I was an entrepreneur in my company. I founded 3 companies for that company, right? My mom died 5:30. I'm the closest child to my mom. Let me shock you. I did a 3.5 hours training between 9 and 12:30. Imagine, I lost my mom at 5:30. My mom, like, she's like the closest to me. She's like my world. Apart from my wife, like, my mom is like, she's like everything to, she didn't go to school, but I got the gift of handwriting from her. I have good handwriting. She didn't go to school, but she's smarter. But she's smarter than my dad went to school, but my mom never went to school. But I could see that my brilliancy was from my mom. My mom gave me the oratory skills. I took it from my mom, everything from my mom. Okay, so guys, I lost my mom at 5:30. I was teaching at 9. So when I'm making money, guys, what are you talking about? I'm not making money because I'm doing work extra. The way I'm coaching you is the way I will coach you if you are paying me $1,000 or $2,000. I don't care. You pay me $10, I will coach you the same way. That is the power that volunteering gave you. I learned it from Fela. The way Fela will go and train in Access Bank then, it is the same way Fela will come and train in school. The same way. The same clothes Fela will wear. The same clothes Fela will wear here. It will be impeccable all the time. I learned it from volunteering. Please volunteer. Be involved. It is a secret that many people don't take note of. Volunteer. Offer yourself for people. You can be bigger than them, but please offer yourself. Today, you can talk about it. It could be apprenticeship. Call it any name. The biggest young coaches in the world today, biggest football coaches, I follow sport because I'm a coach. So because I'm a coach, sports in any MBA school, sport is the place, or manufacturing. They are the 2 places where you teach about organizational performance. If anybody's a professional coach here, or you are a senior HR person, the 2 case studies where you learn about how to manage teams is in sports or in manufacturing. That's why manufacturing is the bedrock of all people productivity plans. It is the bedrock of, if you look at motivational theory, McGregor, you look at Maslow's hierarchy, majority of them are dependent on experiment being done in manufacturing environment because you can easily see dynamics. Young coaches today, go and check the world of football. They learn from people. A guy just won a league. He learned from like 4 coaches. He was under them. He was under them. How much do you think you want to come to UK? I'm a CTO. I want to travel. I can do everything on my own. You're not offering yourself. You see, I spend time here because this today, ego has killed many people, has shut them out from work. Has shut them out from work because they can't even offer themselves. They are too big. Because you're a communication director in Nigeria, they're giving you a big title. You can't volunteer with a small startup because we are too big. You see, the co-founder can't give you instruction because we are coming from as a big boy from Nigeria. Calm down, like relax, calm down. The way to the top is down. When you're coming here, volunteer, offer yourself. The last part, here, network. This one, I won't waste time. Connect, collaborate, community, mentorship. Say it again, connect with people, collaborate with them. Join a community and be involved in that community and mentor and be mentored. Keep those things in mind. Network people. Look for opportunities. Don't be the one to look for people that are not speaking good English. Don't be the one to look for somebody who is arrogant or not arrogant. Can you just like network with people? People are not perfect. It's an imperfect world. When you put those things together as recipe, ask yourself as you are transiting, as you are in your journey, if any one of you is in UK currently, check yourself on these 5. How strong are you in number 1 to number 5? Any answer you get, then we can have conversation afterwards. It's my winning framework, yeah, that wins. Let me show you this. Finally, I'll show you this. Then I'll just round it up and I'm done. I'm out of a phase. I picked this thing from Steve Jobs. I thought Steve Jobs will talk about too many things. when they asked him that he should drop one thing that guided him all through. I thought he would say discipline. I thought he would say having vision. I thought he would say this, he would say that. I thought he would say many things. This is the most profound quote by Steve Jobs. I'll read it for you. You can't connect the dots of your life looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust. Please, I underline that word, trust. You have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in the future. There must be that gut feeling. You have to trust in something. This is what I want to leave you with on this phase of the discussion. You have to trust in something. Let me ask you, you can't build something on nothing. And I'm putting this one to you. What are you trusting on? What are you hanging your life on? This is Steve Jobs. Somebody will say, he's a free thinker. He's this, he's that. Many kinds of story. Fake arguments. You have to trust in something. You can't build something on nothing. He said it can be your gut. It can be destiny. It can be life. It can be karma. Whatever it is, I don't care. And he said, this approach has never let me down, because this approach is what keeps you going. This approach is what makes you different. This approach is what will make you be in your down state and you are still high. This approach never let him down. He said it has made all the difference in my life. This is what I want to leave with you on this phase. Don't think you know next 3 years of your life. You don't know it. I'm sure you don't know it. Yeah? Don't think you want to connect that dot forward and say December, oh, by January, oh, by March, you are here. May I leave it for you and say, my friend, you can only get to a point and you look back and you see, oh, okay, Diamond, oh, this is why you are this one. Now I can look back and say, oh, in primary school, I was the 8th boy. Oh, in secondary school, I was this. Oh, secondary school, I was the best student. Oh, when I went to Yaba Tech, I was the overall best student in Yaba Tech. Oh, okay. In Yaba Tech, I was involved in association. Oh, I went to OAU. Because I was telling you my life story. And I was a union president in OAU. Very strong academic. I was a fellowship boy. I was everywhere. I was a Kenyan boy, beat everywhere. Oh, now, when I look back, I can now see, okay, this is why life took me this way. Now, my life is making sense to me looking backward. But I won't come and scam you and say 15 years ago, I knew I'll be here. No, I did not know I'll be here. I will not lie to you. It's not like casting it. No. What I was sure was that I will keep on moving. Why? Jim Rohn said something. He said, the trajectory of your life is far more important than where you are. And he gave an illustration with a sheep. He said, when a sheep faces south, the sailor of the sheep turns the sheep in direction of the northeast. And the sailor knows that it's a matter of time. That ship will find itself in northeast. And Jim Rohn said, where you are headed towards is far, far more important than where you are. And I want to leave that with you. If you're in a good state now, but you are heading toward destruction, at the end, you will be destroyed. But if you're in a bad state now, but you are heading towards a good side, it's a matter of time you'll find yourself there. So you can't connect that dot forward. Don't do that exercise and think you can connect it forward. Be taking your steps one day at a time. And you realize that every day you change becomes a past. And every day you change, begin to transform your future. The way to create a new past, the way to build a new future is to seize the now. And this is like the overall of what I want to leave this one with. Yeah? And I hope it really makes sense to you, right? I don't know if I have time to talk about my global talent visa journey, but I think overall, if you have embodied what I've told you, then I think you're very much good to go. If you want to hear about my story, I've talked a bit about that, but let me just give you a tip of this story that will shock you. I got my global talent visa as an HR professional. I didn't get it because I was a product manager. I didn't get it because I was a DevOps manager. I didn't get it because I was a software developer. Is that not interesting? And I got my endorsement in days. I got my endorsement in days. By the time I was submitting, I had like more than 13, 14 evidences. But let me even tell you more. I got my global talent visa when I was a student in the UK. Because I want to lecture when I'm 50. I want to go into academy when I'm 50. So I wanted to have my PhD. But because I had master's before, I had an MBA before from OAU. So I wanted to have another foreign master's so that I'm able to now do because my background is IT. I did computer engineering in my BSc from OAU. So I did my master's, which is MBA from OAU. So I wanted to do an MSc related to my technology background so that I can do PhD, right, along the line, maybe like in AI and the likes. So I came to UK as a student, knowing that I am going to apply for global talent visa. So many of you that want to rush it, you are just on a long journey. You know, I told you about those 5 virtues again. So I knew I was going to apply. But let me give you one interesting thing. I have written letter for more than 10 people before I apply for global talent visa, which means people have been coming to me to write letters for them, and they've been getting endorsed. And I have not applied for global talent visa. So I came to the UK. I was still working for my company in Nigeria remotely. So I was still a full-time employee. So I never worked in the UK till like last year. I was still working for my company in Nigeria, and the pay was good. Like I told you, I was earning very well, so I didn't have to work in the UK for a second. The pay was very, very good. If I'm still working now, I don't need to work in the UK actually. I think I'm fine. But the reason why I transitioned to UK job is because I need to have my tax here because of my mortgage. That's why I had to transition to UK job, right? To do my UK job. So when I was doing my master's, because I knew I was going to apply for global talent visa, I was intentional in picking projects. So I went to the prestigious Cranfield University. For you to know the way I came to the UK, so for you to know how comfortable I was, the day I got my admission, 1 week after, I paid 100% of my school fees. Like I did not pay my school fees in installments. One time, transfer, move the money. Thank you. I didn't have to wait for CBN, I didn't have to waste my time because I was not interested at all. No complexity. For you to know the way I came to the UK, right? So JAPA has levels. That's why I came to the UK. So when I came to the UK, it was like a few months after 6 months, like 5 months thereabout, then I knew that I was ready. Why? I've done projects there. I did a big project with Cranfield University with NHS, right? And the project was submitted with the Academy of Health Sciences. So it's like a very big project. I can't talk about details of that for confidentiality reasons, right? Very big project. And I picked that project because of my global talent visa. When I was doing my thesis, I picked my project also, and Cranfield is, like I said, I'm proud that I went to Cranfield. Cranfield is the only university in the UK that all student projects are sponsored by the industry. All, like 100% of them sponsored by you can't go and pick topic by yourself. No, you can't pick topic by yourself. Industry sponsor your project. So I had to go and talk to my lecturer to pick a project in the digital center in Cranfield. That's a big research center in Cranfield. So I picked up a project there on cloud computing. I picked it on virtualization of servers. That's what I picked my project on. Why? I was also keeping it in mind. I was going to do my global talent visa. So you can imagine, before I left Nigeria, I knew I was going to apply. You could have asked me a question. Could I have applied before I left Nigeria? Yes, I could have applied. Could I have gotten it? Most likely I could have gotten it. But I was tightening it. That's why staying in this kind of community helps me a lot. Talk to people here. Like subscribe to the services here. Ask questions. Don't be too smart about it. Like people will guide you along the journey. Then I benefited from the gift of volunteering, and I benefited from the gift of network. People have written letter for. They now called me. Because I was boss. Why can't you do this thing? Why can't you do that? Why can't you do that one? Then one of them just came to me and said, you know what, I will sit down with you, we'll work this thing together. And the person worked me. Now, it's not free. I got it free, but it was not free. Why? I paid. How did I pay? I paid because I wrote letter for the person. I paid because I did some other things for that person, which I can't say, right? Which was like a big deal for this person. Till today, the person is still indebted somehow to me. And the person volunteered to do those things for me. And like another lady also, but we know this person, also came to the rescue. Oh, write a letter like this, write a letter like this. And I spent my time to do it, put it together, submitted. And boom, days after, I got my letter. What is the summary? The summary is this. Go back again to those fives. You will realize that maybe Bade or anybody that can come after and say, these 5 things I've mentioned, maybe Bade can come afterwards and just answer and say, these 5 things I mentioned, which one of them worked for me for my global talent visa? Most likely Bade will mention 3 or 4 of them, if not even all the 5. Like I said, this 5 things I told you is proving. People who have gotten their global talent visa, maybe they did not know, but these 5 things I told you, 1, 2, or 3 of them must have worked for them. Yeah. If they don't have 1 or 2, they spent a lot of things on 3. Yeah. If they don't have 3, 4 and 5 worked for them. Yeah. And look at them, they really work like overall. Last thing, guys, it's nice being here with you. I'm happy. I'm excited. Give yourself to this game. Yeah. And remember, while you are following, while you are taking yourself there, you will fail. And I have what I call my school of failure. Because when people write books on successes, this is my own passing notes as I'm passing out, and I'll come back to answer some questions. I want to leave you with this. This one also is me. Yeah, telling you this one. As you are going through this journey, I want to assure you, you will fail. You are going to be in down period. You know, I told you my sweet story. Oh, I was able to have my money. I paid my money. My friend, I was in down. Let me give an example of the down period. Because my wife was working in the oil sector in Nigeria, we couldn't move her immediately. So I didn't want to move my wife immediately, but I got a visa. My wife since I moved to UK, my wife just moved a few weeks ago. She just joined me a few weeks ago. Last year, my wife traveled to UK 9 times last year. Nine times last year. No, 8. 8 times last year, traveled to UK. So we felt like it didn't make sense. Last year, I had to look after my 2 boys, age 12 and 9. Personally, only me looking for 2 boys throughout last year. There will be times that you will be in your low period. I was there. Don't think I had it easy or true. When I lost my mom, I lost a lot of money. Not in tens of millions. I lost a lot of money the week I lost my mom. My blood pressure, for the first time, my blood pressure has always been low. All my family member knows. For the first time, my BP went mad. I was my brother's place in London. They were just checking their BP, just normal thing. They just make a joke. Shebi, well, that your BP is always like low. You don't even think of anything. They checked my BP, my people. Let me confess to you, my BP was off. We didn't even know. I was not sleeping. I was doing my normal work because I'm naturally active. We thought it was me being active. I did not know that things have gotten into my head. My BP went up. My BP went crazily up. Let me tell you, even if you have the money, you will be down. I want to leave you with that. You will be down many times. For some people, and I can say it here, it's adults. So for some people, I'm telling you from shared experiences now, right? The one that is personal to me, I will tell you. Some people, what happened to them is that some people will lose their sexuality. Some people will come to UK, pressure will get to them. The guys will even have a good time with the wife. The wife will even have time for the husband. The husband will not even have time for the family. The guy who used to have a lot of money in Nigeria will come back here. We have to depend on the wife. You have to learn to adjust to it, no matter how big or where you are coming from. Please keep it in mind. I'm not saying you should expect it, but I'm saying that prepare yourself mentally for it. People that can tell you the truth, they will tell you this one. You will be down. You will be down. The day I got my Nottinghamshire job, I had to take my sons to the school and I have an interview in Nottingham. I had to drop all my suit because I was running late. Because I can't drop my children to school early. Nobody was there. I had to drop my son in school before I now started driving to Nottingham. I only had a window of 10 minutes. And I wanted to get to M6. And I made a mistake. I went to A38. Guys, my journey became longer. I dressed up in the car park of Nottinghamshire Council the day I got my job. Even though when I finished that interview, I came out, I took a picture to record my experience. Please, when you see people that look good, their success story, ask them their failure. I was in down period for some time, but I still kept myself moving. I will tell you this one, you will be down. You will feel down. Sometimes they will shock you with unfortunately emails. Your CV will be best in class. They will not pick your CV. I will tell you this one, they will not pick your CV. You will do everything like this. Your own might just be CV problem. They will not pick your CV for no reason. The recruiter will not call you for like 1 month. I want to tell you, remember, Diamond tells you this. I went through it. I went through it. I went through that phase, through several phases at different times. There are times I needed to go and pick up a job in London. People offered me a job those times. Because I had 2 boys, I couldn't take the job. I needed a job that would allow me flexibility. Big pressure on me. Imagine having to leave a big role. I have to settle in the UK and I have to manage those changes. Yeah, that's why a community helped me. I live in Birmingham today because I got the support from a community. I have a godparent in Birmingham. They helped me because it was a community. If you don't have that community, your family will scatter, your relationship with people will scatter, you will lose your mental sanity, you will lose many things. I beg of you, stay in the community. I don't keep that ego. Be open. I can tell you about my story. I can tell you about anything. I'm not ashamed of that. I've had high moment, low moment. However, I have never had a dry, impactful moment. In those my down states, I was still inspiring people to achieve results. Let me tell you, while I was looking for a job, I coached somebody on Scrum. The person got a job of 95K in the UK contract. I trained somebody for 1 month, Scrum, 1 month. I gave the person a CV. The person 2 months after got a 95K job. It's not like they said, like it happened to me. When the person got the job, I was the one doing the job with the person. I was the one coaching the person. The person had to be coming to me, share my screen, tell the person how to do this, how to do this, how to do this. Somebody I trained. I mean, I'm still applying for jobs. You see those things, you will experience them. But remember, I told you, while you are following, you will fail. But one thing I want to leave you with, do not fail to follow. While you are following, while you are transiting, while you are making that move, you will fail. But I beg with you, do not fail to follow. Because I've come to realize that there were times in my life I thought some things were the end, only for me to realize that they were just a bend. There was actually something else even after them. And I realized and I saw juice in them. And it has worked for me. It has worked for a lot of people that I've seen. And I'm sharing it because I have a lot of data. I have a lot of people connected to me. Yeah. And that is all I've come to share from my heart. If you want to connect with me, just put Ola Diamonds online. Just follow this way. You can connect with me. And the company I run in the UK is called People Amp. If you search We Are People Amp online, you can reach out to us. So guys, thank you very much. It's nice being here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was a real session. And those values you share, those 5 tips you share, I call them lifelines that you gave, and if anybody and everybody on the call, if you apply those 5 tips, I'm sure you would get the desired results. Networking, volunteering, invest your time, invest your money in the right place. Thank you, Ola Diamond. That was a real one. And I like the way you shared your personal story to also buttress some of the point, to drive it home, to give it a human feel, so that it's not just head knowledge that you're sharing. It was very inspirational and it was very resourceful. Like, so if you got knowledge from that, please just thumbs up and also leave comments on the chat to let Ola Diamond know that you got value. Yeah, fantastic. So quickly, we're going to be moving. Before question and answer, just hang in there. You can keep dropping your questions on the chat, and Ola Diamond will be available to answer all your questions shortly. But we want to bring in our second speaker of the day, Bade Adesemowo, who is going to be talking about tech career coaching in the UK. Right. So Ola Diamond has given us the tip to network, to invest, right? But Bali is coming to just give a tech career coaching tips, especially as it pertains to the UK. And I'm sure you would get value for this second session also. It's going to run for just 10 minutes, 5, 10 minutes, and we'll move straight to question and answer. So hang in there. All right, buddy, over to you. Hi.
Thank you so much, Moody. And hi, everyone. Thank you for having me for this session. Ola Diamonds has actually done a lot of work already. And so I wonder if I'm able to match the energy and the passion in terms of the delivery. My job is really simple. And what I would do is basically signpost you to a number of things because our time is fast spent. What I would do is to signpost to a number of things that we believe that you should know. In many cases, we already have done sessions and open day sessions where these things have been discussed in depth. This open day has been slightly different, and that is also good because all of this information you will find useful. And all of this information, as members of our community, we believe that you need them. We believe that if you operate with those things, so Ola Diamonds was talking about those 5 principles, and to a large extent, those 5 principles aligns even with what we do. Within Bincom, we've got a program called the Bincom Global Tech Program. We spoke about it earlier in this, and some of those principles are what we apply as well around effort, relationship building, spending time volunteering, and so on as well. So very, very well aligned. So there are 3 key things I will signpost you to. And don't forget, if you wait till the end of this open day, we do have a gift for you. Moody will talk about that a little bit later. But there are 3 key things I will signpost you to for this session. The first is around the visa opportunities that we believe that you should know about. The second is just a little bit of snippet around the tech career coaching and the journey, what the journey looks like if you are moving to the UK and you're looking at landing a tech job in the UK. And then the third is I'm going to talk a little bit about our Settle in the UK as a tech talent package that eMigr8 is currently marketing. Those are the 3 key things I will talk about very briefly. So the first one is just about the visas. And like Moody said at the beginning of this session, if you are globally attractive, you would have options. What we've done is that we've sort of categorized these visas into different categories, that are different visa opportunities that are available to you as a tech talent. Startup, if you're a startup founder, there are visas you should know about. If you're a talent, globally attractive, there are visas you should know about. So please take a screenshot of this slide. We won't be able to drill down into it today, as we said, but be aware that all of these opportunities are opportunities that you could likely qualify for. And so one of those visas is the UK Global Talent Visa, which is also called the Tech Nation Visa. We've done sessions around this visa opportunity already, and this session, we do have recordings for this opportunity, and the recordings themselves will help you in terms of drilling down. One of the ones we recommend that you take a look at is video 1A of the resources available from eMigr8 Tech Visa. Video 1A has drilled down into what you need to know as regards the UK Global Talent Visa, what you need to know as regards the visa, and as regards the different criteria available for you to apply under. We also drill down into what you can be doing to say, oh, I'm not yet qualified today. What should I be doing so that I can qualify within the shortest possible time? We've also done quite a number of open days where we've invited some of our successes and other coaches within the eMigr8 community to share their perspective. Ola Diamonds didn't have enough time to share, and I hope it comes up during question and answer as regards the kinds of documents he submitted. It comes from a unique perspective of an HR tech person, right? And so for somebody else that is in HR in the room or watching this video after, if you're interested in, oh, what kinds of documents should I submit as an HR person to show myself as globally attractive to qualify for the UK Global Talent Visa, then this would be useful as well. And I'm hoping Ola Diamonds will have a bit of time to talk about that before we end the session today. But the point is that if you're a developer, we've talked to a number of developers. If you're a cybersecurity expert, if you are DevOps, if you're on the business side of technology, if you're on the investment side of technology, there are several resources available to you. And so for me, what I wanted to do was just to signpost you to that resource. Moving on to the second session, which is around the tech career coaching. So we have a tech career coaching package, which is part of eMigr8, but slightly different from the eMigr8 Tech Visa, because what the tech career coaching service does is to focus on you being able to land your next role faster. And some of these roles are roles that comes with what we call work visa or certificate of sponsorship. At the moment, we are focused on the UK, but these same principles, as we've tried to share with you, these same principles actually works for many other Western countries as well. It's the same principle. So what the service does is that it helps you to land your next role faster. It helps you with introduction to technical recruiters. It helps you with work experience, with reference, and you will find out by the time you drill down into that pathway, you'll find out these are things that you would need if you are interested in landing that next tech role. If you have international experience, fantastic. If you have UK experience, even better. And that's what the tech career coaching service helps you with, whether or not you do need a work visa at the end of that journey. Some of our clients already have a visa. So for example, the UK Global Talent Visa does not tie you to any employer. What it does is that you are able to work anywhere and do anything you would like to do, most things you would like to do in the UK. The few exceptions is you can't work as a doctor, you can't work as a sports person, right? And so you can decide to start your own company, but then if you're looking at landing a role, then you may need some tips, and those are some of the ones we share with you, and a coach is able to work with you and hold you towards helping you land that tech role faster. A quick snippet, and we've done sessions where we drill down into this pathway. So we have a 1 hour, 30 minutes session where we've drilled down into the pathway, and we gave tips at every stage. It's video 1D in the eMigr8 resources. That's the one we would recommend for you to take a look at if you are interested, because we've given a lot of information that we believe that you will need and a lot of information that can help. In terms of the stages though, these are the stages we believe you will go through if you are looking at landing a tech job in the UK tech ecosystem. And those stages, for every one of these stages, there are tips and tricks and information that you should know to help you move to the next stage faster. And so it starts from you being open to new opportunities, to you actively applying for roles. And Ola Diamond mentioned that do know that expect a lot of no's. At the end of the day, all you need is one yes if you're trying to land that tech role. To you submitting your profile, and when you submit your profile, it will go through something called an applicant tracking system. With an applicant tracking system, what happens is that it's automated. It will scan the CV, and it's automated to in terms of selection, because your recruiters, your hiring managers will not physically review every single CV that is submitted. So they have softwares that helps them to be able to do that. The next stage is technical recruiters, and technical recruitment is an industry in the UK and many other countries, really, technical recruiters. And their job is to help organizations match people that can fit into roles to the roles that the organization is trying to fit into. Next stage is the recruiting manager shortlisting to the interview stages. And then if you've gotten to the hiring decision stage, that is when you can expect the work visa sponsorship, if you do need work visa. I will just spend a few more minutes talking about each one of these stages, but as I mentioned a moment ago, we have done a full resource that gives you a lot of information about each one of these stages, some of the things that you should look out for, and so on. At the stage of being open to new opportunities, one thing we will say to you is very simple. If by now you are not getting technical recruiters reaching out to you to say, are you interested in this type of opportunity in your industry? It is possible that your profile is not well optimized. And that's part of the things that you probably want to do to ensure that your profile is optimized for your level and the type of roles that you are interested in. So even if you're not looking for a role, you're not looking for a job at that moment, you should be getting technical recruiters reaching out to you to say, oh, we've seen your profile, it's really interesting. Are you interested in this opportunity or this other opportunity? That's the stage of being open to new opportunities. And then you need to dust up your CV, dust up your profile, optimize it to make sure that it will fit into the role that you're looking for. We believe in the spray and pray approach. There are many approaches to this, right? But one of the approaches that we believe in is spray and pray. Spray and pray is very simple. You would apply for multiple roles. Eventually, you will be able to land one of those roles. You would apply for many. Rejection rate is high, but you really don't care about the rejection rate. What you care about is that one role that you need at that point in time. Next stage is that you're actively applying for opportunities. And there are different sites that you may want to take a look at in terms of you actively applying for opportunities. Aside from the aggregator sites, so when I say aggregator sites, I'm talking about LinkedIn, Glassdoor, and several others. You can Google all of these. Also apply on the organization's own website as well. So if you find a role that you really like, one of the things we advise you to do is, in addition to applying on the aggregators, go to the organization side. Most organizations would have their own HR portal, recruitment portal. Apply in that portal as well. It helps at the end of the day to get you in front of the person that will make the decision. We spoke a lot about all of these already, as I've mentioned. Next stage is when you apply. Oh, don't let me forget, jobserve.com. If you are interested in the UK tech ecosystem, do not ignore jobserve.com. It's one of the very, very, very old sites. And if you look at the site, you realize that it hasn't been updated in many years. But a lot of technical recruiters actually use that site, and that's where they post their jobs. First of all, the market is picking up at this point. For some of us, you may be aware that towards the tail end of 2023 and the early 2024, the market was really slow. But the market is now picking up. A lot of organizations have now gone past their year end, and now they are realizing that they want to start building up for growth again. And so don't waste time to say, don't waste time and start looking at the market again if you stopped at any point in time. Next stage would be when you apply, your CV will go through automation and the ATS, as I mentioned earlier. Once you are shortlisted, then the next stage is the technical recruiter call. At that stage, usually these calls are 10 minutes or less. And at that stage, all they're asking you is just to see if your profile matches what their hiring manager is looking for. You just need to make sure you understand what the job role says and make sure that the technical recruiter, you are pushing all the information that you need to push in terms of if you fit for the role. Next stage is the recruiting manager. The recruitment manager is somebody who is a subject matter expert in the role that you're trying to apply for. So notice that this is general, whether you're on the technical side of tech, where you're looking for software developers, DevOps, and several roles along those lines, or on the business side of tech, if you're looking at roles like business analyst, product manager, digital marketer, and so on. It's a general process that many of these roles go through. Recruiting manager, it will now look at your profile. In some cases, it may be the first time that a human being is looking at your profile. You want to make sure that your CV is optimized so that the recruiting manager understands that, oh, this person is someone I want to speak with. Their time is very expensive. They don't want to be talking to different people. If they want to talk to people who are the best match for the role. Next stage is technical assessment. Sometimes If you are a developer, you likely get a test or you get a session where you have to write code in there and there. Many organizations today are using softwares like HackerRank, Codility, and so on to assess candidates. They also, next stage then is they want to assess cultural fit. At the technical stage, please ensure that you will be able to pass those tests. One of the things that we do within the Bincom ecosystem is that since you know the tests that you will get and the types of tests you will get, start practicing. Looking for a job is a job by itself. Start practicing, and what you can do is that use those same softwares that they use. Do one challenge a day or one challenge a week, depending on how much time you have and how much focus you have on this. And the idea is that whatever will come in terms of those technical assessments, you are already prepared. Then there are interviews on cultural fit. The STAR model is one of the things we recommend. Google it, STAR model, write it down, Google it. I don't have the time to explain. And then the hiring decision. It is after you've gone through all these stages where if you then need a work visa, it's at that stage where you would be offered. Of course, at the beginning of the process, one of the things you need to target if you are interested in finding work visa sponsorship is that target organizations that are on the sponsor list for the UK. There are just less than 50,000 of those organizations. And as I said earlier, you only need one. How we can help. Number one is our tech career coaching. And like I mentioned, for every one of these stages, there are things that you can do better, and there are things that you can do. There are things that you can do better at each one of these stages. I'll ask the audience at this point, for those that are actively in the market, what stage are you? Could you drop that in the chat? Is this stage 1? Is this stage 2? Is this stage 3? Is this stage 8? Right? In terms of interviews that you've gotten, in terms of the process that you've gone through, please drop that in the chat. We would like to just know what stage are you, and that could also help. And if you have questions, you can ask as well. How we can help. Tech career coaching is one of them. AutoJobServe is a software that we've built that will help you do the application for these jobs. So rather than you manually applying for jobs and all of that, it has AI and Gen AI. It's still new beta version of it, really. So it's still not perfect. No software is ever perfect, really. But AutoJobServe is something that helps you to start applying for the roles that you're looking for, and it could reduce the time you need, particularly for stage 2 as you continue. Last one is referencing UK work experience is something else that we can help with. If you're interested in this service, the link is on the screen, and what you want to do is go to that link, and then you can book a session and a coaching session along those lines. Last one, I'll just spend. Yes, so if you don't have the right skills and experience, so this isn't the last slide, but if you don't have the right skills and experience, what we think you should do is that start building those skills. Know what your gaps are, and then deal with the gaps as much as possible. Last thing I was going to mention, and yeah, is the Settle in the UK as a Tech Talent package. So we do have a package at eMigr8 on Settle in the UK as a Tech Talent. We've done a session, 1.5 hours as well, drilling down into this session just to explain that this package is just one of the packages we have on the eMigr8 platform that will be useful to you. It's just one of the packages. So we have many other packages as we've explained earlier, but this package is one of the ones that has the eMigr8 triple guarantee, right? And it targets your profile for 3 visas at the same time: the UK Global Talent Visa, the UK Innovator Founder Visa, and the UK Skilled Worker Visa. If you're interested in that, you can send a message to any of the numbers on the screen, or you can ask questions on the community as regards the package. As we've mentioned, there are details as regards this package. You can use this route even as a beginner and even as an expert in the field of digital technology. If you're a total beginner, you haven't started your journey in tech at all, you are welcome to use this package as your route to relocation and settlement. You will need time, you will need equity, you will need some investment as well. You need a minimum of 3 to 6 months if you're interested in this route. You need a minimum of that. And also, it is available for you if you're looking for switching, so a visa switch, or you're looking for a pathway to settlement. This route is also available to you. We have a lot of details about it. We don't have enough time today because we really like to get into your questions. But a key thing to bear in mind as regards this package is the fact that it comes with the eMigr8 Tech Visa guarantee. So those are three quick things I had to run through very quickly. I'm not sure if I did justice to them or I was just
Yeah,
rambling
you did.
myself.
Yeah, no,
Um,
no, you did.
yeah,
You
thank
did,
you.
buddy.
And
And
questions.
yeah, yeah, I was gonna say that questions will allow us unpack some of these things with the time we have left. Guys, we have less than 15 minutes to go, less than 10 minutes actually, to round this session up. So if you have questions, this is the time to ask them. Hi, Ola Diamond, are you still with us? Because we have a question for you. Yeah. Um, so I'll start with okay. Um, Let me go to the top. There are some questions that we had. So someone said, I'm currently in the UK on a graduate visa valid till January 2026. My target is a clear path to citizenship here in the United Kingdom and preferably get a skilled worker visa that can cover my family and I. We are currently a family of three. Can I get someone to speak with directly to fully understand uh, the way forward? Yes, you can if you join any of the communities, the eMigr8 communities, or we have there are numbers on the slide that we have shown on this session that you can pick and also call. But join the eMigr8 community and refer to this um, edition of eMigr8, and you have a free session now. And this is the gift for everybody that has still been on the call. We have a 15-minute free session. I keep saying
10
30.
minutes.
50,
10 minutes.
10 minutes free sessions, coaching session for everybody that is still on the call at this time. So if you are still on the call at this time, you have a 10 minutes free coaching session from eMigr8. All you need to do to redeem it is to join the community and say, I was in the April 17th edition of eMigr8 Open Day, and somebody will reach out to you and schedule you for that 10-minute consulting free coaching session. Right. So yes, you can speak to someone. That's a channel to speak to someone and get more details as it pertains to your acts. All right. I'm looking for through. So somebody said, I just got an offer. I'm currently putting my documentation together for endorsement. I have 4 applications I want to use as my evidence. I also want to use my mentoring for an organization in Germany that help people getting in tech. Can the reference letter stand as evidence? And I have been part of the eMigr8 community, and I had a session with Mr. Buddy and Mr. Moody. How can I put my documentation together properly? I need all the help from this community. So I think we're already having those conversations, right? And I think the next step is to see what you have and review. I don't know if Buddy has a different conversation with you already, but I think the next step is to see what you have and we can review appropriately, depending on where you are at the moment. So, but did you want to also speak to that? Because you mentioned he
Yeah,
has had conversation with you.
well, so I'm not sure. I speak with a lot of people, but just a couple
Okay.
of general things to just mention is that avoid using additional letters as documentary evidence if you're applying for the UK Global Talent Visa. The reason is because the way the visa structure is, the way the application process is structured is you have 3 recommenders and your personal statement that talks about how great you are in the field of technology and why you are globally attractive. That's the reason why those letters exist. But they know that people can lie. You can get recommenders to see anything about you as they want, which is why they also then want to see documentary evidence that says that the things that you have said in these letters are true, are correct, and truly makes you globally attractive. So therefore, you should be able to move to the UK as a global talent. So rather than using a letter, we would advise that find a different evidence that sort of says the same thing that letter would have said as your documentary evidence. Focus on ensuring that your recommenders write the right thing for you as regards the things they say in their recommendation letter. Sometimes we say to you that compile your documentary evidence first before the recommenders actually write the recommendation letter, because that way they can speak to the kinds of evidence you have, but make sure they are saying that you are a fantastic technology person and that you are globally attractive. Hopefully that was helpful.
All right.
I don't know if you have additions to that.
All right. We would move quickly because of time. Someone is asking, I would like to know if I can pay someone to help me in the process for my technician visa document gathering. Right. But do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so we do have a package for that called Move to the UK as a global talent. You can ask the colleagues on the eMigr8 platform or the eMigr8 coordinators on the call. You can ask for them on the community, and they will be able to give you more details about those. You can also just simply go to emigratvisa.com and fill the form. When you fill the form, one of the links you will get is the request for service form, where you can fill a form to say, this is the service I'm looking for. And what you want to put in there is the eMigr8 Premium. So that's available to help in terms of supporting you, coaching you, and so on.
All right. So fantastic. I think that helps. I have been in the field for 7 years as an IT security analyst. I currently reside in the UK with study visa in cybersecurity. Can I apply through the route, please, as a student? Right. All right, buddy. You want to take
Yeah,
that?
okay. So I thought Ola Diamonds would take that, but
Yeah, I'm not sure he's
okay.
at the
Yeah,
moment.
No,
So
I'm
that's
here.
fine.
I'm here. No, if you want to take a question, I can take a question. I'm here.
Oh,
all right, fantastic. Maybe I should go over this question again because this person wants to apply as a student. So I've been in the field for 7 years as an IT security analyst. I currently reside in the UK with study visa in cybersecurity. Can I apply through the routes, please, as a student? So I'm thinking this person is talking about global talent, and this person is a student and is asking, can they apply with their experience as IT security analyst?
Yeah, so if you're applying for global talent visa, what you're doing currently in the UK does not matter actually. So whether you're a student or not, it's not one of the requirements in the visa. What really matters in the visa is what you have done and what you also plan to do. So for example, even in your story, doing masters currently can also be a way for you to say you are building on your current skills that you have actually had before, which is also similar to what I did. For example, I had to add even my second masters. I even put it as part of the things that I've been able to do. And I talk also about it in my personal statement to say the reason why I'm doing my masters in the UK is for me to also build upon my tech skills, right, which already I have. So you can marry them together and it actually even helps you, but there's no restriction that says that you can't apply. Now, if you have to focus, I think what I believe you should focus on is how to get the endorsement. Yeah, endorsement is this first stage. And that endorsement, there's nothing that has to do with your current studentship position and the like. So focus on that and speak to somebody here, chat up the admin and the coordinator here, and they will give you a guide on that. So there's no restriction. Just go ahead and get it done.
All right. Fantastic. I think that was clear. We have one question for you, Oladamond, and I was waiting for you to. I didn't know you were available. So someone asks, what documentations or what document did you submit as an HR professional in tech, and what criteria did you apply under for your technician application?
Okay, so I'll give
Yeah.
you an advice. Let me give you a code. This code might help anybody here to engage anyone. If you go to the technician guide here for the global talent visa, we have something that is called mandatory criteria. We have what we call the optional criteria. Now, the mandatory criteria, the way I code it is I call it MC. the way I code the optional criteria is called OC. Now, each optional criteria, I like to code them as OC1, OC2, OC3, and OC4, for example. Now, under OC1, they gave you some example. I normally tell people and say, don't go beyond the example. They've given you your syllabus already. Why are you doing extra work? Under the optional criteria, for example, there will be some things that they will tell you, they'll give you as an example. For example, as a leading talent, which is a mandatory criteria today, there are some examples that they give you there. I like to put that example from A, for example, I think from A, I label them from A to like K or maybe K or L thereabout. So there are like 10 or 11 of them. So one of them, for example, is that you earn high salary as an example. So for example, I earn high salary. Because I earn high salary, UK government believes that it means that I'm an exceptional talent. So let me give you a practical example of one of my evidences. One of my evidences, remember the evidence is meant to be 3 pages. So one of my evidences is that I earn high salary. What did I put? My page 1, I put the extract of my offer letter. On page 2, I put 4 copies of my recent payslip. On my page 3, then I put how the money was entering my account. Yeah, that is all one evidence. Yeah, that is all. Now, at the end, what I did on the 3rd page, for example, is at the end, I now did a screenshot of payscale.com to show example of the salaries of HR managers to now show that I'm in like top 5% or top 1% of the salary earner of HR managers in the tech space. I went to pick like 3 job openings of tech companies in Nigeria who hires HR manager. Then I did a screenshot of the salary to prove that I earn more than that. So, and that is enough for an evidence for me. And it's just as simple and as straightforward as that. That is like one of the examples. I speak in event as an example, and I pick 3 of my biggest notable events, and I put them together. The letter they used to invite me, I put it. The letter they gave me as appreciation, I put it. The picture that we took, that they present me an award or certificate when I came to deliver the lecture, I put it there. The pictures of the whole event, like over 800 people when I was speaking, I put the pictures there. For example, those ones, 3 pages, become like one of my evidences to prove that I've spoken in like big events. So what you need to do is to go and look at technician guide. That is where you should ask questions. I prefer people ask questions the other way. Tell me the requirements you are trying to meet and tell me what you have and match them together. That's like the simple way to be able to help yourself with global talent visa. Don't just say, I've developed product before. Like it's ambiguous, right? That is very ambiguous. People tell me all the time. I will say, I don't know whether you meet the requirement. I want to know which requirement did you meet? Let me give an example now. When I was in my HR role, I was the head of corporate communication. And Venture Garden Group, I was so fortunate that Venture Garden Group has more than 11 companies in the group. And during that period, we had more than 12 startups. So all the websites of all Venture Garden Group companies, I was the one that led development of all of them. All the social media platform of all our companies, I was not responsible for them, as an example. So the record of that became one of the ways in which I've contributed to product a digital technology company. So those are like the evidence. So you need to have done some things, for example, to be able to do that. Like mentoring too. I also, because I volunteered, I've done some Google kind of mentoring program. I've done a mentoring program with like 3 other organizations. Then I collected letters from them, showed them example of some postings online on their website. Later they give to me. It's also an evidence to show that I've mentored right outside my normal day-to-day kind of work. So if you don't know the requirement, you never read the technician guide, any question you ask is going to be a misfire, to be sincere with you. If you don't read that guide, again, I go back to my 5, my 5 sacrifices. If you don't spend the time to read it, you don't put in the effort to understand it and ask questions, anything you ask afterwards will just be like a misfire. You should see, I'm giving you answers based on the technician guide that I've even kept in my head. And that's where it is.
All right. Yeah, fantastic. So the next question is for Bade. Just hold on 1 minute. The next question is a tech, it's for Bade. So they say, hello, I have a certification in supply chain management and I am into business. which tech skill would be ideal for my line of work, and how long will it take for me to process my tech lessons and global talent visa. So this person is in business. This person has certification in supply chain management, and they are, wondering what tech skill would they leverage on, and how long will it take for them to get the required expertise before they can apply for global talent visa.
Can I answer that?
You can start.
Let me start Ola Diamond, then you add to it as well. So the short answer is, if you are not in tech at all, we believe that within a 1 to 2 year period, you can actually achieve everything needed to show yourself as globally attractive at the exceptional promise level, right? So that's, we're saying newbie today, and you've never done anything at all in the field of technology. Within a 1 to 2 year period, you can actually make it as exceptional promise. Assuming that you already have some things in your background, and assuming that you already have some things that you can leverage on. Now, it depends on a lot of things, because you have to look at the criteria. You have to look at the MC1, the mandatory criteria. There are 5 of them in total. Number 1, you need to show yourself as a leading talent. Number 2, you need to show proof of innovation. You need to show proof of recognition. You need to show proof of significant contribution and impact. And then you need to show proof of academic excellence. Now, second thing is that when you said certification in supply chain, nobody really cares about certification. I hope what you mean is that you have experience in supply chain management. Now, a number of the things you've done in your past could be transferable into some specific tech industry. For example, you would have done some business analysis in your past. You may not know it is called business analysis, but you will have done some based on supply chain management, maybe familiar with that industry. So you will have done that. The question is, how transferable are some of the skills that you already have to be able to get you to the field of technology in terms of looking at what you've done. And that's just one example. There's quite a number of other aspects of technology. And so that's where you need to start from. Ola Diamond, please go ahead.
Yeah, so the person that asked that question is, so let me tell you this so that you understand. There is an ambiguity about technician visa, for example. For example, somebody will say, oh, you need to be this number of years, in digital technology space for you to do this. That technicality actually is not right. So let me tell you the reason. I've been an HR manager for many years. I was a senior HR manager in a manufacturing and supply chain in Procter & Gamble. And I've grown up to a very senior level. Then I now move into a tech environment. So it does not make sense technically for you to tell me that I need to be 5 years before you say I'm an exceptional talent. I'm an HR manager. I'm not a product developer, right? I'm an HR manager. So when I came into tech, I didn't come into tech as a newbie HR, because it's HR we are talking about. It's human being we are talking about. There's nothing special about tech in the HR, for example. So when I pivoted into tech, back to my beginning, it was easy. So I did not wait until I was 5 years before I got endorsed as exceptional talent, as an example, right? Because I'm already senior. I came on a senior role, yeah? And my experience over the years is actually very long. So let me just tell you as an example for you now. You've done something on supply chain, right? Tech is not tech. Tech is not something that you do alone. Tech is an enabler for different sectors. So, which means that any sector you find yourself, you don't need to think of how tech really comes to play. For example, you said you have done things on supply chain. Today, people are now leveraging artificial intelligence to optimize supply chains. For example, inventory management now is being done using artificial intelligence. Your supply chain might be side of maybe storeroom management, of warehouse management, or logistics movement, for example. People are building solutions, for example, to manage truck businesses, as an example in supply chain. So there are many things today. SAP today, transferring of SAP today is supply chain, as an example. People are doing transformation of software systems, ERP system in supply chain industry. That is tech side of supply chain. So supply chain is not just supply chain alone, which means if you have done analog part of supply chain, it's now a time to switch into digital part of supply chain and now be able to build and if you're an entrepreneur, you cannot begin to look at losses in that industry that tech can enable. Yeah. Today, a lot of people are doing a lot of things today. How do I track movement? For example, we have the monitoring of trucking systems, for example, across board. So as you have power tech, you also have logistics that tech actually can power up. So Barry said something that really makes sense. If you have done supply chain designs before, as an example, you have done a BA role. That means you have done a change management, as an example. So that is part of things you have done. So starting your career, I would recommend, for example, if you are coming to tech, to start with a business analysis kind of coaching session, which, for example, you can reach out to eMigr8 and you can start up on that. That is like the best place you start from today, because as a business analyst, it's not just a role, it's also a foundation and the core at which you think in tech, right? Whether you are an AI guy, you're a software developer, you're an agile coach, you are anything at all today, BA is like the engine, the way in which you think and look at an organization. So don't look at BA only as people that work with software developers to create something, yeah? So as an HR manager today, as a change manager, you're a BA. Leading transformation, you're a BA, right? So anywhere you find a change happening, it is a BA job, as an example. So start with a BA kind of a thing. Don't waste your time too much. Then over time, you can begin to go into other areas. If you want to be technical, where I will ask you to go into, for example, will be AI. Yeah, if you want to be technical, don't go and do DevOps, don't be distracted. If you go into AI, for example, AI is going to add intelligence to your supply chain knowledge. Please don't throw your supply chain away. Supply chain is a big deal in developed country. Please don't throw your supply chain away. If you build your tech on your supply chain, you are going to be unique as a tech guy. For example, I build my tech around my HR. So I'm not just a tech guy. I'm not just a tech guy. I'm an HR guy. I'm an agile guy. So I have some unique kind of strength. If I'm talking about BA, for example, I'm like, I'm not a senior BA. Like I'm a bow of a BA. Like, because the BA I have done, for example, like I've managed transformation of employees of over 180 people being trained in 7 different countries in the world, and I have to manage their training, their transformation. So that is not a small BA of a BA of I'm developing an app. That is a big time BA, and the budget of millions of dollars, for example. So that's a big BA, for example. You have to check function, technology, processes, organization design, people, morale, motivation, several things, for example. So don't throw supply chain away. Start with BA, then over time pick up AI. But you will not really appreciate AI if you don't start with something like a BA. So pick up a BA course. You will thank me later for it, as an example. If you start seeing value in what you are doing currently, as an entrepreneur, you will come back month down the line and say, oh, thank God I did BA. You will see losses in your business that BA will solve for you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. That
Just
was
one more
very
thing on
detailed.
that would just be, you could also look at being a startup founder. That could also be something you may look at to say, you've been in this industry for a while, you have thought of something of some sort of innovation, and you can decide to say you are going to be a founder to build something that will solve that problem for your entire industry. That's also another route you could take. So as you can see, about 3 or 4 different routes has been discussed by Bade and Ola Diamonds in this case. And it's up to you to then be able to chart your own unique journey. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So the final question, right, on the chat, I'm just going to take it and yeah, I'm just going to take it. So I'm currently on my graduate visa. I got a job which supposed to sponsor me, but due to the new skilled worker route salary, right, I was told to change my visa to a 5-year stay before the job could be given. Since the company won't be giving out sponsorship anymore, what do I do? So this person is currently in the UK, has a job offer that was rescinded because of the duration of his or her visa, and is asking for advice. Right. So, but did you want to speak to that?
Oh, I was hoping you
Is there,
all
yeah.
right. So first of all, I would just say this is not visa advice nor immigration advice.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. But from my experience, you will need to find a new role. That's what you need to do. you need to go back to the job market and start looking for a new role. I'm assuming you don't have a spouse that is on a different visa, and then you can be a dependent on the spouse and all of that. So there are different things to look at along those lines. But if the company you're currently in, or that company that made you an offer, is no longer willing to sponsor your visa, and now they can only sponsor your visa anyway if you're earning at least 38,500. That's the new minimum amount that you need to be earning for them to be able to sponsor a visa for you. And that's not very hard to be at, by the way. Just know that more than 50% of people in tech earn more than that at least the intermediate to advanced level. So don't write yourself off, particularly if you already have some background experience in the past. Maybe the kinds of roles you are targeting, you need to target higher roles in the field as well. So there are so many unknowns, really. And I don't know if any of the things I've mentioned could be helpful to you. Ola?
You said it. Look for something
Yeah.
else. You can't patch it. There's nothing you can patch here. They can't sponsor you. Where do you get the visa to work for them? The only visa that's available today is to have a sponsorship visa, except you want to have a tier 1 visa where you don't need an employer. So what they are telling you directly is that, sorry, we can't hire you. They're just telling you in a polite way. Yeah. So there's not a visa that you can actually get today that will allow you to still work with them. So I'm sure that over time, to be sincere with you, over time, I can say this one open, there's nothing about it. Whoever designed this actually was not smart enough. It was an emotional decision about this immigration thing. And we've said it many times, even in my council, we said this one all the time. It does not make sense, because if you are putting a visa, that is far, far higher than your median salary in your country, it means that somebody is not thinking. And it tells you a lot about lack of leadership across the world today. And I beg to say it all the time. Somebody did not think through this whole process. It's not only in Africa, you see, poor leadership. People don't think deep, because graduate entry role is where all Western world develop pipeline. It's called pipeline, talent pipeline planning. Yeah, you get people who do their master, they are still young, in their 19, 20. You get them into your company, like big companies, like the big manufacturing company. They get you there. They begin to groom you for like 4 to 3 years, for example. Maybe you come and do an MBA, they get you there. And before you know, 2 years down, when they groom you, they now start paying you bigger salary. But the first 2 years actually training is not anything new. So graduate entry role actually should be an exception, because it's not a typical kind of an employment. Because if you go to graduate entry role, it can actually fire you later if you don't match up with it. So it's actually a probation. Graduate entry actually is a probation period for anybody. So that company owns a duty to actually close up whether you are good or not along the line. But whoever does this one, let it be on record that it will change as a matter of time, because they are going to lose talent. That means that talent will come to UK here, do masters here, and now go to US and go and do their PhD, because nobody can take them for graduate entry role. Now who's going to pay them the money? Yeah. So, but for now, unfortunately, you find yourself at the wrong time. So look for something else. And like Bade said, trust me, difference between somebody that they offer 28 and somebody that they offer 40 is just something in your CV. Somebody put junior BA when you should just put BA. Because you say you are junior, that adjective alone writes you out. They just offer you 28K salary. That's just the difference between like both of them. But you learn that when you go for the coaching service. Right? In the coaching, you learn the tricks of something that people cannot even come and tell you publicly. Let me just tell you that. There are things that are caught, there are things that are taught. In coaching service, you catch things. You are not just taught, you catch. I don't know whether I've said enough around that. That is why when you come for coaching service, let me tell you, there are things you catch. There are things you are taught. In coaching, you are not taught. In coaching, you catch. Like you read leaves. You read leaves like this. When you read leaves, you understand. You say no more. You go ahead and do some. That is why I will always advise coaching service. You will get a lot of answers. Make sense?
All right.
Yes, it does.
All right.
But
Makes
before we
sense.
move
It
from that
does. It does.
question, two more things occurred to me. One is for this person as well, is don't forget that aside from the skilled worker visa, there are at least 2 other visas you can explore. The global talent visa, we've spoken about it a bit. You may already be qualified depending on where you are in your skill. And then there's the innovator founder visa. If you're interested in building a startup, you may want to explore that as well, because that visa also allows you to work full-time with another organization. So bear those 2 in mind to say there are other options available. Also, you may want to check because you may qualify for I can't remember what it's called, but with the new skill worker route that was released in April 2024, there's actually an exception for graduates where you get a 20% discount on the salary that you are looking for. So maybe that may put you in the borderline of being able to get access to sponsorship from organization. Just go and read the skill worker route guideline that came out. There is an exception for graduates. Because you said you're on post-study, you may not meet that exception, but just check. You never know. Thank you.
All right,
Oh, sorry,
fantastic.
last one. Please, let me just, I like to drop my quotes. Please, you are not a tree. You are not a tree. You are not only planted in UK, other visas. There are EB visas in the US that you don't know. Why struggle for global talent visa? Try to find 2 years, 3 years, 4 years when EB visa is there, when O1 visa is there. And because you hear it is US, you think it's an equivalent task. Let me tell you, EB visa, to me, technically, because it's what I do, I believe that it's even easier than global talent visa. So I tell people and say, why do you want to switch to tech? For example, the other guy that spoke now, that say I'm a supply chain person. Don't waste your time to say you're still waiting of time in tech. Speak to eMigr8. There's EB visa there. If you don't know, EB visa is there for you for the US. So go take it off. You're not a tree. Let me say it again. You are not a tree. Yeah, you are not a tree. So please move. And there are even more opportunities out there. US is a very big market. Very, very big market. Move to US. The same job, the same head, the same brain. In UK is like 30K, 35K. The same head, the same brain, the same team. Only in US is 120K. I'm telling you fact. It's not like I'm just giving you anything about. So you're not a tree. Speak to eMigr8 and other option. Just go and explore it and give it a shot. Yeah. But please, nobody guarantees you anything. Remember, it's just saying that from experience, we have seen this. Like I've seen people who are now beginning to move to the US. But please don't join late. This video is recorded online. Somebody will play it for you 2 years down the line. Don't join that movement late. Some people that did not apply for global talent visa 3 years ago, now, but they will tell you what is happening to them now. To apply for it now is a cool task. Please don't join the movement late. Take action now. My advice.
All right, fantastic. Fantastic. That was good plug-in, and I wanted to also say that remember that our goal here is to make you globally attractive. So, right, and once you are globally attractive, there are many markets that are open to you that you can move to. Right. So I see a question here, and I feel the question has been answered already. I've been a telecoms engineer now on cloud engineering. Can I use the blog I have written as an evidence for global talent hunt? Well, I think you should read the global talent requirement and see where that falls on down. It might be under optional criteria, right? So please do your due diligence so that we can and so that you can move forward. I don't want us to go back to the question that I think we have already answered. There's a lot of answers that have been given that address that. But if somebody has a question for you to say, please explain the eMigr8 triple guarantee. Right.
Okay. So I'll just take the 2 questions. Sorry, I was going to go back to the blog question. The simple answer is it depends in terms of your blog. Does your blog have significant readership where we can say you're actually contributing to the tech ecosystem, or your blog is just there and it's just there, right? Those are the kinds of things you have to check. Ideally, you shouldn't be using Medium if you have other options and all of that, but those are the kinds of things to check. eMigr8 triple guarantee, we mentioned the settle in the UK as a tech talent. The eMigr8 triple guarantee on that particular package is very simple. We will only earn most of our fee upon your success. That's the guarantee. Most of our fee we are earning upon your success. It means that the organization is investing in you at that point in time. We're not able to offer everyone that particular package, but it is available if and we've mentioned it before. There's a session we've done that discusses that particular package end to end. It's a recorded session. The video is available. You can ask in the community for details so that you get all the details. We said it over a 1 hour, 30 minutes or so session. And then you can also book a one-to-one short coaching session to answer questions.
All right, finally, thank you guys. Thank you, everyone. So these are my final question for both Buddy and for Ola Diamond. Thank you again for spending your evening and your time with us. Right. So we have five set of people in the room. Mr. Ola, Diamond, we have five set of people in the room that we need you to advise, right? And this set of people are they are new, category one are new beginners, newbies, just starting their journey on tech or in tech, and they're asking, am I good enough? Or, is this the route I should be on? Category two are people that have been in tech for a while. They are middle, full stack developer, junior developer. They've been building and they're wanting to know, is this the next best decision to take? Right? Being global talent, emigrating and looking for a job in the UK. Right? Category three are, people that are transitioning into tech, and I think you spoke to some of their needs earlier when you're talking about leveraging your technology on what you already have in experience. But now they are transitioning into tech, and they are wondering, is this the global talent visa, and is this a fantastic opportunity that we should be looking at? Then we also have the C leadership team in the house, the CEOs, CTOs that are trying to make up their mind on global talent, especially looking at the challenges of landing a job as a C-level executive, and also being able to get the visa as a C-level executive. Now, those are the category of people we have on this call, right, that have been listening and juggling through your mind. I don't know. As a final question, can you speak to this category? And what would you say to a beginner? What would you say to somebody that is intermediate? What would you say to an expert level? What would you say to somebody who's transitioning career into tech and looking at, and all these people are looking at global talent as a visa route that they want to explore, and what should they be looking out for?
Yeah, thank you very much. So as my passing note,
Yeah.
if you're a newbie out there, what I want to leave with you is that a tree, a plant, they are just the same. They are just a seed that is in a good environment that allow time and a lot of effort to get through. If you're a newbie, all you need to do is to look at your trajectory. Where do you want to be? And begin to take an action. If a seed is on the topsoil, it doesn't make sense. Be planted. That's what I want to tell you. Be planted. It's not just that you are talented, you have to be rightly planted. Get nurtured, get a good environment, a place like this, and begin to learn. Over time, you will just realize that when you look back, you just realize that, oh, I've actually gone this far. That's what I want to tell you. Don't overanalyze. Stay focused and do one thing and build yourself from there. That is what I want to leave you with. Yeah? So the way to the top, like I said, is down. Begin from where you are today. Let me give you an example. A guy joined my academy, that was 2 years ago, and we did a training on Power Platform. If any one of you, if you are not familiar, this video is being recorded. I will play it back to you because I'm a visionary. I can tell you that. I have things I have forecasted. You will come back to this video. There's a current wave in the tech space currently on digital transformation. There's current wave currently on automation that is now happening in the public service. It's something I'm privileged to know because I'm involved in it. In 2, 3, 4, 5 years in the UK, nearly all the public services will be taking up a lot of automation. They are trying to improve a lot of tasks. And because UK is heavily dependent on Azure and Microsoft, one platform that helps you for that is called Microsoft Power Platform. That is where you have things like Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI and the likes. Microsoft is driving it aggressively. You can go to LinkedIn and check such rules out. Currently, it is hot cake, but you don't see people talk about it. I trained a guy 2 years ago on it. This guy is making fantastic money right now, just in 2 years. This guy was just an operator in a company in Nigeria, an operator, just an operator like in a factory, by the way. And he picked it up, loved it, picked an interest in it. He's now a Power Platform developer making good money. Please, you can only be beginner once. You can't be beginner twice. Put yourself on it and move on with it. That is for you. If you are just 13 in tech and you're already there in tech, I want to give you a watch out. Don't switch too much. This is like the biggest pitfalls for many newbies in tech, people who are beginners in tech. You're already picking up data analysis as a course. Before you know, somebody tells you again about Azure. Then you go straight to Azure. You have not done Azure AZ900. You switch again to another thing. I want to advise you. Stay on one lane and let your roots be deep into the soil. It's a good decision to make. In 1.5 years, 2 years, before you close your eyes, 2 years is gone. Stay on the lane, build yourself, build your evidence. With my experience, I told you my story. I had to spend months to build my evidences, and it paid out for me. Yeah, you can do the same thing for yourself. Let me give you an interesting thing. A data. Go and check every country in the world, including United States, including UK. They discuss every other visa except highly skilled visa. This visa has been there for long. At the point it was HSMP. They started changing it. They will never take it away. They can take away all the other kind of visa. Why? Every company in the world wants to take the best of talent from other countries to come to them. So every country in the world wants to take the best talent from every other country. That's why EB visa in the US will never go away, whether Trump comes in or not, because US want to attract the best of talent in the world. So which means if you spend your time as a beginner and you build yourself for the next 2 years, this visa will be there. It's going nowhere. It's going to be there, right? And I want to beg of you, stay on that lane and give yourself this best decision you will ever make. I made that and it worked for me, right? That is the second thing I want to tell you, right? For example, I left Procter & Gamble in 2007, right? And I switched into tech, right? Fully into tech, and I never made a regret of that, yeah? So which means that it's never too late to start, right? That's the point. For the people that are transitioning into tech, how should I say this? What is my regret for coming to UK? I think my regret is I would have come earlier. That's my regret. I would have come earlier. All those times I was traveling up, down, I was just coming to UK, come and spend my pound, my naira, just enjoying my life. I think I could have moved earlier. Yeah, it could have made more sense. My guys that moved like 7-6 years ago, guys, during the days of the outside IR, people were just making money anyhow, not making money anyhow. And it's always like in phases. If you want to switch, please switch. But remember, tech is the new oil. But that oil, you have to drill it. People will tell you that TEL is a new oil. Yeah, it's a new oil, but don't forget, countries that have crude oil, but even Nigeria has crude oil, but we are not rich as a country. So tech is oil, but you have to drill it. Yeah, you have to drill it. So that's what I want to tell you. Best decision you will make, use tech to enable your experience. You are actually not switching. You are just building on top of your experience. So please, I want to advise you, it's the right thing for you to do. If you're in C-level, I've been there, I'm there, I've done it, like been there, done that. Is it the right thing? Let me tell you. Anyone in the world who is a talent and is not globally mobile is not competitive. If you're a CTO in Nigeria, tell me one football player, tell me one global or top artist who cannot fly to any country when he or she wants to fly. Tell me one. Please forget tech now, forget tech. Tell me any global actor that you know today, even Nigerian musicians. Today, they can just go straight, go and sing in Canada today, tomorrow here. If you're a talent, you call yourself a CTO and you are local. The best you hire is a local CTO. I want to tell you that one again. A CTO who cannot just carry his bike, take his ticket and fly to the UK when you want to fly to the UK, you are local. I don't think there's a big boy CTO who plays at that level. I doubt. So you want to be mobile, yeah? One of the ways to be mobile is to move yourself to that place whereby transitioning to that country become easy for you. because you can easily start up a business. You can really easily do a lot of things. You can easily go in, strike deals, and come out. And it offers you a lot of advantages. Other ones, I don't want to talk about it. And I tell my friends today who are in Nigeria as an example and say, you think you have cash, now you don't have cash, but you transfer that cash into pounds. When you get to a point and you have to pay for a child and you have to pay £15,000 per year for degree, and you have to pay for 4 years, you will know how poor you are. Right? Yeah, you will know how poor, but not if you have 2 or you have 3. Let me tell you what it means. If you don't know what it means, let me give you the number. If you have a child and your child wants to do degree and you want to send your child out of the country, just calculate. Nigeria is good. £10,000 is like 15 million naira. And you have to pay for 2 kids, for example. Let's assume you have 2, you even try, you have 2. That's 30 million naira per year, excluding accommodation, excluding flight tickets, right? Which means you have to be seeing them or they are seeing you or you don't see yourself. You just say goodbye. The only thing I pay is your school fees. They'll go and hustle. Please keep that thing in mind, right? So if you don't pay those things forward, you are going to pay for it in the long run. That is the point about it. People are not talking about global mobility now, yeah? If it's a Sunak parent, never gave him that edge, I don't know where would have been. I'm just trying to say that as an example, yeah? So that leverage becomes important in everything. I want to give my kids choices to make, right? It becomes easy. While I was trying to do EB, Paro, and Co. Now, I don't have to worry my children. Like, I just feel like, it looks like we saved money many years ago to go and give out to these boys in the US. So when we were doing it there, it was like a need. People thought it was like a class. People did not know that it was a need. We needed to do it. To apply for 10 years UK visa, you know how much it is? UK visit visa, 10 years. You know how much it is? Go and check the price. And then when we were giving back then, maybe total cost was 5 million naira that time. What is 5 million naira now? So if you think it's because of Jackpot, please, some of us did not Jackpot because we are suffering. If I were not still suffering, I will still love Nigeria. We are patriotic Nigerians. Please, it's just the best thing that you can do. If you want to engage me more, I'm very much open to encourage you to do that, like it's right thing to do. And that is just all about it. Yeah. Thank you.
Quickly, can you just again tell the audience where to find you? Somebody was asking for your details in the chat.
And I was also going to mention if you could talk about People Amp for just a second as well, so that people know what People Amp does, and some people on the community may be interested.
Okay, so People Amp, as the name is, so we just like a platform, a community, and it's actually based out of my passion. Is actually for people of color to amplify them. And we do that across several areas. We have like very big community today. And what we do is we train Black professionals, we help them for job placements, we process them for employment visa. For example, today, we have the largest community today on employment-based platform, which is the US Green Card. We help people for US Green Card and the likes, global talent visa, and also personalized coaching. But please keep on to the mind. I tell people this one. Let me learn this one. We are a premium company. So if you want to call, be intentional to call. And we are proud to say we are premium. So if you want to join our community, we are available for you to give support, and we give support. We have close to 1,000 people on our platform today that we give content to. We are also available online. If you want to find us, it's easy. Just look for We Are People Amp. I'll just drop in the chat box. We Are People Amp. If you want to find me, I'm just Ola Diamonds. You'll find me here, right? On LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn and drop me a message. And please, if you want to drop me a message, just say from eMigr8, and I will know that, okay, you're joining from here. And also, if you want to find me on Twitter, it's also here. For People Amp, I will also drop the same thing here. So we support people across board, offer coaching services, any kind of coaching services, life, transformation, career. You want to find a way to be about something. And this is the approach that we do. Direct, simple, straightforward, no sugarcoating, and we work strictly on integrity on that. And the same thing also with what eMigr8 is doing, and that's why we are not competitors. We are friends. We are network, right? It's a big scale today. Like, we can't move everybody that needs this thing. Let me tell you, there are a lot of people that are not aware of all these things. Let me give you an example of the most painful thing, the most painful one. Employment-based visa today in the US, the Indians in the pool are over 1 million. Data, I'm giving you a data. employment-based visa in the US, the one that offers 10 years green card. The Indians in the pool is now 12 years, which means Indians that applied in 2012 are the ones US is attending today. They are giving green card today on category 2. 12 years in the pool. That means that people that apply, I'm giving you fact, I'm not telling you theory. The Indians that apply in 2012 February, they are the one as at April now that US is giving green card. Is it not shocking? Which means this thing has been there. People are not aware. People that were aware, they were hoarding it. In 2018, 2017, when somebody offered me this EB visa, to speak to a lawyer was $2,800. This thing is being recorded, it's there. To speak to a lawyer, just to speak to a lawyer, I traveled to US in November 2017 to meet a lawyer. I had to change my mind and say, I don't want, let me just go and do my other work. Let me even go to UK. No, I don't want to do this one. Only to speak to a lawyer was $2,800. Let me tell you, as Indians are 12 years in the pool, Nigerians today in the pool of the 10 years green card visa, EB2 today, they are just 13 months. So which means Nigerians that applied February last year, they are the ones US is attending to today. So Nigerians are just less than 14 months in the pool. Can you imagine? And let me tell you something more. The first category, which is the EB1, the Chinese in the pool is 5 years. Indians in the pool is 4 years. Nigerians in the pool is 0 for EB1. I'm giving you data, facts. If you get EB1 today in the US, you get green card immediately. Nigerians in the pool is 0, which means US has more green card for Nigerians for EB1, right, than other categories. And they are achievable visa level. So I want to tell you today, so it is big. So eMigr8 has a lot to cover. We have a lot to position our people for professional services. Because if you get more of our people into professional visas, then you know what happens? We are creating a lot of generational stability for the country, which means we can build businesses, we can set up a lot of things, we can form a lot of partnership, we have a lot of stability. And that's the advantage of that. So we have a lot of things to do. So guys, feel free to reach out. It's a very big thing that we have not tapped enough. That is why you can see someone like me come here. If you eventually go through eMigr8 and you get it, you are a plus to us as a country. You're a big plus. If because of this, you get to US next year on green card, you're a plus. Whether it is eMigr8 or people armed, because we are big. We have 200 million people. And I tell people today, the Nigerian problem is not people that are living. Nigerian problem are people that are dying, that are meant to live. So people complain today that 1% of Nigerians are living. People are not saying that there are 90% that are getting rotten. So there are senior people in Nigeria today who are almost losing their job. They could have been in the US on their green card, but they are not aware. Like I normally have a quote, maybe my final quote for today. You know, there are many quotes in my head, that there is a demon that does not answer to prayer. That demon is called ignorance. There's a demon that does not answer to fasting and prayer. That demon is called ignorance. If you don't know, you are in bondage. If you don't know, you are in bondage. You are just like an American, a Nigerian who was born in America that did not know that he's an American and started applying for US visa. You are just in bondage. So you just need to know about it, sit down in a place like this and get an answer, and you are very much good to go. That is what we do in People Arm. I will drop our link. You can also reach out anytime. I'll be able to help you. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I will encourage everybody to connect with him on LinkedIn and connect with him on all social media platforms. He has his link on the chat. Right. Fantastic. Thank you. Buddy, do you want to say anything?
Take action.
Final words. Yeah.
Take action, take action, take action, take action, take action. Those are the final words. There's a lot of information that has been passed today. Ola has done justice to the topic, and we've also shared a lot of things, but you are not better off with on the person that doesn't know anything about this. if you don't take action. There's an action you should probably take tonight or maybe tomorrow morning on this information that you've gotten. What would just encourage you to do across those 5 categories, whether you're a beginner, whether you're intermediate, whether you're advanced, whether you're in the UK seeking a pathway to settlement, or whether you are ready to apply for the opportunities right away. What you should do is use this information and take action. Second thing is share the word. Let people know about these opportunities. We've talked about the UK Global Talent Visa. That's what we focused on today. But in past editions of eMigr8 Open Day, we spoke about the US EB2 visa, NIW, and we have a video on the internet where you can learn about it. I know Ola Diamond has some videos on the EB2 and the EB visas as well. We've spoken about the US O1 visa. We've spoken about the UK Innovator Founder visa and several different visa opportunities. Many people in your network do not know about these visa opportunities. Some people think that, oh, it's a student route and so on that they can use. And some of those things are suboptimal because you are an expert in the field of technology. And even if you are not an expert today, you can be an expert in the future. What you should do is stay informed, be inspired, and take action. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power, right? So, one of the actions you should take today is to follow Ola Diamond on LinkedIn and on his links that he has dropped. Another action you should take is that you warn yourself for staying to the end. A 10-minute consulting session is 10, so you have to be brief and brilliant when you're on those calls. So what you do is go to technician.io and read the recommendation, understand
I hope
the
I'm winning that. I hope I'm winning that too.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Right. And so when you go on technician, read the requirements so that when you're asking questions, you are spot on and you will get more value for the 10 minutes that you have. Right. So fantastic. Thank you to our speaker, Coach Ola Diamond. Thank you very much for spending your time. We deeply appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Badi, also for spending your time with us. We also deeply appreciate you. This event has been brought to you by eMigr8, right? eMigr8, it's a platform that you can leverage to move from point A to point B in terms of relocation. Our objective and goal is to make you globally attractive. And we hope that we've given you enough knowledge, enough information and insights today that will make you start the journey to becoming globally attractive and moving yourself, your business, and your company to new markets, new demography, new ecosystem, as the case may be. So till we meet again next month for another open day session, stay connected to us at eMigr8 on our platforms. eMigr8visa.com is our website. eMigr8 at all social media platforms. A simple Google search, you'll find loads of video about eMigr8 of past editions that we have. Feel free to share the links with friends, with family, with connections, in your community. This information, we need to empower ourselves with this information. Like Ola Diamond said, we need to empower ourselves and we need to grow the numbers of Nigerians and the numbers of people that are taking advantage of this opportunity that do exist. So collectively, we can defeat that demon called ignorance. So thank you again and have a wonderful time.